moving through eastern Oklahoma, even a tornado warned storm there. We've got some strong storms across northern portions of Arkansas. They are not severe just yet, but as they come off of the Ozarks, it wouldn't be surprising to see them flaring up fairly quickly. And of course, this one storm just happened to flare up fairly quickly. Again, that warning goes until 12:30 this afternoon, 12:30 on the warning that's in northern portions of Shelby County. So we'll zoom in a little bit closer. I want to get a little closer in. And one thing I've noticed is that as we're looking at the radar right now, this is a little tough to look at because of the fact that when it comes down to it, it's very close to the radar. So we really need to be tilting up. So I'm going to actually tilt up the radar a little bit and be able to see more of the storm because, again, as the radar goes out, the beam goes out, the tilt of the atmosphere, the tilt of the earth goes down. So we're looking higher and higher up in the atmosphere, but I have to look a little higher up right now to be able to see the full extent of the storm. I'm still seeing a hail core that is right along Highway 385 right now. So Highway 385 east of Millington, east of Austin Peay Highway. That's where the hail is probably at its highest or strongest at this point. As far as a storm track on this, is moving off to more of the east. You know, the one thing I've noticed, Maggie, is that it's not necessarily moving northeast, is moving more easterly, and that may be something that goes along with you know, ultimately how these storms will move through the Mid-South over the next couple of hours. But you see some of the times there. See getting out towards Galloway by about 12:22, eventually out towards the Braden community by 12:29, Mason by about 12:34. So again, if you're in northeastern Shelby County, far northeastern Shelby County right now, that's where we're seeing the potential for hail. And I wouldn't be surprised, this storm that's going up east of Mason, out near Stanton and Haywood County, that one may be the next one. Starting to see some a little perk up there near Stanton and the Blue Oval plant right now. So at this point, you know, we got some strong storms moving across Shelby County. It's only really the one severe thunderstorm, but even the storm that we are watching to the moving into downtown, that one's going to be pretty heavy. I don't know if you guys can pull up the downtown camera, the high five camera in downtown for me, and we'll just work our way through that. It's looking at the Peabody right now, and let me turn this around, maybe turn it towards the north. And there's a look at the Bass Pro Shop and, of course, I-40 and Riverside. You can kind of see it off in the distance. If I turn the camera a little bit here, you can see there behind the pole. That's where the thunderstorm is currently located at. Let's go to the high five camera in Midtown now. Let's go Midtown on the high five camera network. That's looking, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's looking towards Overton Square. So that's looking towards that storm right now off in the distance. And we've been seeing some pretty decent lightning popping off of that. So again, you're looking from Midtown, 1960 Union, you're looking to the north and east towards, you know, you'd be going out towards northeastern portions of Memphis, heading out towards Nutbush. The next town would be Raleigh and Bartlett, and eventually you go across 385, and that's where that storm is currently located at. Back to links, so let's go to the radar now, and again, still seeing that severe thunderstorm moving through that area here this morning. So again, well, now this afternoon, moving to the north and east at about 30 miles per hour. The warning goes until 12:30. We'll see how long that may last because there is still a couple of pockets there of hail potential moving through there. We'll put the hail swath on here and can kind of see over the last little bit there definitely has been some indication of some hail near the Bolton community there along 385 and now into northeastern portions of Shelby County. So as we're looking at hail tracker here, there is some indication there of some hail. To what size, you know, it's hard to say at this point.
That penny-size hail was in Arlington.
Okay,
Somebody put that. So that is on the ground confirmation of penny-size hail.
All right, so penny-size hail, that's about half an inch or so. So half an inch to 3/4 of an inch hail. That's not enough to do a lot of damage, but enough that it will rattle you a little bit. So that's you know, not the best situation that's ongoing right now, of course. Again, so that we're getting some ground truth of some hail falling near Arlington. That makes sense based off of the hail tracker. And it wouldn't be even surprising to see a little bit of hail that's falling currently across maybe Fraser, Mud Island, and heading up towards North Haven here in the next couple of minutes just because of that other storm that's just behind the main severe thunderstorm that's moving off towards the north and east. So that's moving into northwestern portions of Fayette County, southeastern portions of Tipton County here shortly. Mason and Galloway would be the next major towns in line there, Maggie.
Right, and I want to talk to you about rainfall rates as well, because we've talked about the potential for localized flooding, and I think we've seen the heaviest portion of these showers and storms. Again, we're watching for the potential of hail, but also heavy rain, and they're tracking in the same areas. So we're going to continue to watch that as well. Again, that severe thunderstorm warning that was issued first when this was south of Millington, trekking out of Shelby County. But as I said, we're watching that same area once again being hit by another pretty strong shower and storm that's once again moving north of I-40 in between Millington and Fraser. Still seeing some strong showers and storms out there. So that's another thing that we're really going to have to watch as we head over the next few hours, is these showers and storms that continue to set up within the same areas. I have rainfall rate on here again, seeing anywhere between really an inch an hour. Could be a little bit more, because when we do see that hail potential, that will go up because the potential for hail, not necessarily ground truth around here, but still seeing lots of heavy rain in here as we're stretching from portions of Crittenden all the way into portions of Shelby County. Strong showers and storms just trailing in here within the same areas. Oh, and look at that. My hand tracker wants to work, Patrick, so that's really good. Anyway, sorry that hadn't been working. So lots of rain to contend with as well. I'm going to zoom actually out and show you what's going to be going on. Still seeing this severe thunderstorm warning. That's what we're on the air for you, or with you for, and really that's moved out of Shelby County. But my concern, Patrick, is with the next one that's going to be coming in, because it looks heavy again in those same areas. Still seeing that shower track in between Memphis and Millington. So if you are in that area, again, just sitting really along and north of the 240 loop, not over with yet. You're not over with as we head even into the next few hours, but still seeing yet another strong shower and storm with lots of lightning to contend with as well as we head over the next few hours. So still watching that, Patrick.
Maggie, I was going to say, the storm that's coming into Cross County, a lot of lightning with that one.
Yeah, I was watching that.
Very close to severe limits on that one. Very close to severe limits on the Cross County storm. So let's actually go over there. I'm going to show you this really quickly, and then we'll do a storm track on that storm, because that one may be the next one that needs a severe thunderstorm warning. But you're seeing some black dots here. That is indicating some hail as well. And of course, Maggie was just mentioning the storm that's coming up out of northern portions of the city of Memphis, up near Fraser. Wouldn't be surprising to hear some reports of small hail coming out of the storm near Fraser, heading up Highway 51 as you're heading past the police training academy up there on the north side of town. Going up towards the north and going across the Lusahatchee River, and eventually making your way up towards the Lucy community, and eventually up towards Millington. Again, the main storm that we're still watching still has some pockets there of some pink and black. That's giving indication of some hail that's trying to fall out of the sky here, and that's in far northeastern Shelby County at this point. Let's go out and just go to that storm that I was just mentioning coming into Cross County. That one's got some strong wind potential that's also trying to get going as well. We showed you the lightning really popping off with that storm. I'll put a storm track on it about 30 miles per hour or so off towards the east-northeast, and get a couple of times of arrival here, and maybe extend this out for about, we'll extend this out about 90 minutes or so, and kind of give everybody a heads up as far as this can get out towards the east. So just some of the major towns in line coming right down Highway 64. Wind here at about 12:23. Time right now 12:13. So you got 10 minutes before it moves into the city of Wynn. Parkin would be somewhere around, say, 12:30 or so, 12:35 or so. So if you're in the Parkin area, new severe thunderstorm warning coming out for that storm that just came out for. So let me get through this, and we'll come back to Maggie for the other severe thunderstorm warning that just came out for central portions of Shelby County. Earl about 12:58, Marion at about 1:33. So that's the next storm that's coming in here. That would mean that it would probably move into Shelby County sometime around 1:45 this afternoon. Maggie, got a new severe thunderstorm warning that just came out for Shelby County.
Yeah, it's that one that we were just talking about that's moving really into around those same areas. We're now pushing into portions of Shelby County, just crossed over the river, really intensified as well. Once again, pushing into those same areas north of 240, really between Bartlett and also 51 and Atoka, seeing this move the same direction. So I went ahead and put a storm track on there for you. 12:15, it's going to be coming into Bartlett. Bolton around 12:28, Arlington around 12:37, Galloway around 12:41, and then also into Mason around 12:52 p.m. So if you are within these same areas that just saw that strong shower or storm and you're here with us, just know that we're seeing another severe thunderstorm warning for those same areas, basically the same areas, maybe a little bit south, but around the same areas here in Shelby County. So that's that next one we're going to be watching for. We're going to stay on the air as we move through, as this moves through Shelby County, because they put that severe thunderstorm warning on it. You can see that one that was just issued. It's now pushing out of Shelby County, and then we're looking at this next round start to come in as well, or really our next severe thunderstorm warning starting to come in. Still looking at the potential for hail and strong winds as these make their way through the area. So you don't want to be outdoors when this happens. You really don't want to be driving as well with the potential of hail and strong winds. Also very heavy rainfall as well, making it probably hard to see if you're traveling on 51 as well. Not going to be great traveling conditions. Let the shower and storm pass through and then you can get on with your day, at least for now. That looks to be our main one that's going to be passing into portions of Shelby County. Going to go ahead though and zoom out to show you an overall picture of what we're looking at. Seeing really a trail of showers and storms stretching from Shelby County all the way up 40 into portions of Brownsville as well. This is really the direction we've seen the showers and storms trek. It's from the east, maybe a little bit northeast, but mainly easterly as they make their way into portions of western Tennessee. And we're going to continue to watch them as they make their way out of the west and cross over the river. Again, I'm surprised they haven't went ahead and put that severe thunderstorm warning within that one in Cross County as well. Lots of lightning associated with that as well. You can see it just lighting up those little lightning strikes and portions north of Wynn. I'm going to see if I can find how much lightning is just within that cell. Let's look at it. Number of strikes 386, and I didn't even get the whole thing. So lots of lightning to contend with. Patrick, have they put any update about that one that's going to be coming into portions of Cross County?
Not yet. The last update was for the storm that's up near Tiptonville up in Lake County. But I did want to put a storm track on this, and if you guys could in the back get a TDOT camera up, I want to be I-40 near Jackson, I-40 in Jackson. Of course, this storm is moving to the north and east at about 30 miles per hour. If you're on the north end of Bartlett, as you're getting past, say, Summer Avenue this morning, if you're north portions of Bartlett, heading up towards Raleigh, heading up towards like Covington Pike, crossing there to Singleton Parkway, that area is likely going to be the spot to watch for the strong storm here that's moving into Shelby County or through Shelby County. Also, Millington, 12:21. Time right now is 12:17. You got Lakeland by about 12:34. Arlington at about 12:43. Just a reminder, this is the second storm. Okay, so there's two storms in Shelby County right now. One is on the exit, and we'll do a storm track on that to move it out of Shelby County here in a second. But I want to get this storm that's moving through Shelby County right now. Arlington at about 12:43. Galloway, as you're moving into northwestern Fayette County, by about 12:49. Braden by about 1 o'clock, and Mason by about 1 o'clock as well. And now remember, I put a storm track on the storm that's over in Cross County. That storm would probably be moving into the metro area sometime around, say, 1:30 or so. I'd say metro area being Crittenden County, and Shelby County probably 1:45 to 2 o'clock this afternoon, as the storms are moving off towards the east at about 30 miles per hour. Now, we can sometimes look at debris tracker and actually see where there may be some pockets of hail associated with it. And typically, you'd see a CC drop, or what we say correlation coefficient drop. I'm seeing that actually, and this is not a tornado, and let it be known this. What we're looking for now is looking for a little drop here, and there is a little drop near Egypt. So Egypt Central, that area, crossing over near Methodist North, that general area as you're coming across the Austin Peay Highway, that is going to be the spot to watch for maybe some hail potential here very shortly. You can kind of see the area that we're looking at going right across Egypt Central Road. That will come across Singleton Parkway, Austin Peay Highway up there very close to Methodist North, where we have a little bit of a drop in correlation which means that there's something that is not the same with everything around it. Basically, we're looking for different shapes. When rain falls, it flattens out, but when hail falls, obviously it stays spherical. So that's what we're seeing there. That's going to be at New Allen Road and Egypt Central. A little bit of a depression there that would give us an indication of some hail falling out of the sky. And when you look at the radar, the pink area correlates with that. So that makes sense, okay? I'm going to go over to velocity, okay? This would be the winds, which way the winds are blowing. And notice nothing is blowing in different directions, so that's not the issue. It's the hail that's the problem here. Now, we do have some gusty winds, don't get me wrong, from Woodstock over to Egypt, that's moving over towards Raleigh and Bartlett. But again, this is going to be more so a hail issue now in northern portions of Shelby County. If you're watching us right now, if you're in, say, South Memphis, Germantown, Collierville, this is not a storm for you. This is moving to the north and east. This is going to be more so a problem for Bartlett, Lakeland, Arlington, Millington, those areas, as well as even Fraser. Of course, it came right over you guys within the last couple of minutes, and we'll go up to the other storm of note. This is the first one that came out earlier, the original severe thunderstorm warning, also moving to the north and east at about 30 miles per hour. Put a storm track on that. Want to give you a heads up for our friends in portions of Tipton County, as well as Haywood County and northern portions of Fayette County as the storm moves off to the north and east at about 30 miles per hour. Put a storm track on that and see some of the towns there in line. Mason by 12:32. This would be the first storm. Remember, you got another one that's coming up behind you within about 20 or 30 minutes time behind it. It's the Stanton community by about 12:48. So that's Blue Oval area. Eurekaton by 1:09 and Brownsville there in Haywood County by about 1:11. Remember, we have multiple storms. They're all kind of individualized right now when you look at the broader scheme here. When we zoom out and look at the overview, there's not a squall line that's developed, but there are individual cells out here. Now, the one that I'm watching out there in Cross County, that one may be the one that kind of gets ready to come blowing in our direction, just the shape it looks like, Maggie.
They said they're going to go ahead and put a severe thunderstorm warning within that one. They haven't yet. But they have put that within the National Weather Service chat that we continue to monitor. They're the ones that issue the warnings. We're the ones that bring them to you. So just letting you know, this one has intensified to reaching those limits. The same impacts that we've been talking about, wind, but also really the potential for hail is why these have been issued. This, again, it's coming into portions of Cross County, eastern Arkansas, but it will eventually make its way over the river and into those same areas that really we have severe thunderstorm warnings right now. But I did want to go ahead, put a track on there for you so you know when it's going to be in your area if you do live in portions of eastern Arkansas. 12:40 p.m. and Earl Joyner around 1:12 p.m. and then passing over into portions of Shelby Forest around 1:20 and then Millington around 1:37. So these are going to continue to track into portions of the Mid-South. Again, pushing into portions of eastern Arkansas. That's where we're seeing them enter the Mid-South, but they're continuing to make their way east around that same really line from Cross County all the way into portions of Shelby County as well. So we're continuing to watch these showers and storms as they pour in, really fired up in the last 30 minutes, and now a few of them are beginning to reach severe limits as well. Go ahead and looking at the hail potential with that as well. Yeah, still seeing hail really sitting into the north of wind as it makes its way into portions of central and northern Cross County as well. So that's the main thing we're watching. Also seeing some hail spiking up in portions
I was about to say that one
yeah.
there has gotten a little stronger there north of Arlington. They bumped up the hail potential up to 1.5 inches, which would be $half size. And if you remember this morning when I showed the severe weather graphic and the outlook, it said up to $half size hail. Unfortunately, that may be the case up there north of Arlington near Galloway right now. So when we look at hail tracker and you start to see those darker purples and blacks, that is an indicator there that we could very well be seeing some hail falling out of the sky. It's more likely when you get up into those levels. That's basically paralleling I-40 right now, basically paralleling I-40, crossing over Hickory With Road. That would be
big hail likely in Galloway, Tennessee right now.
Okay,
so
and
confirming exactly where that is.
Yeah, exactly what we're talking about here. Again, right over Galloway. So again, Hickory With Road. We're talking up towards where they're going to put in the new Buc-ee's up there along Highway 196 and I-40. If anybody's up in that general vicinity from Arlington to Galloway, that's going to be a messy go of things. And again, big hail potential in this area specifically as the storm is moving off to the north and east. And when we throw it in 3D, my goodness, you see those pinks blacks and even some whites in there, that is a good indicator that we probably have some large hail that's falling out of the sky at this point. If not now, very soon. Remember, when we start to see that core coming down, that is an indicator, again, that the storm could very well be descending, the hail core descending. That is not good news. That means that the hail is falling out of the sky at that point in time. So again, the storm's moving off towards the north and east at about 30 miles per hour. And of course, the storm track is updating as it's moving along. Mason, 1232, eventually moving out towards, again, basically on top of Galloway right now. And as Maggie mentioned, it's very possible that we could have 1.5 inch size hail. So for our friends in northwestern Fayette County, hopefully you've got a little time here to get the car inside the garage. And also for our friends in southern portions of Haywood County, I would go ahead and do the same thing because that storm's heading in your direction here shortly. But again, when you see that pink area there, very defined, that is the hail core. And like I said, it's moving across Highway 196 right now. That's going to be moving off to the north and east. It should be crossing, I think that's going to be Tennessee Highway 57 or 59. I can't remember which one. I think it's 57. That comes up and crosses over into the I-40 areas there in the northwestern portions of Fayette County. So Fayette County right now, that's where the biggest hail is likely located at, but the storm that's also a note in Shelby County is right over now north of Bartlett, north of Raleigh. This would be, again, near Egypt and heading up towards Methodist North, moving across Austin P Highway up towards the Brunswick area and Bolton area. The same areas that just were hit with this first storm are about to get hit again, maybe a couple of miles to the south of it, with that storm moving in right now. As we are approaching the 12:30 time frame, Kelly Cook is now on the desk with us this afternoon. And of course, we'll check in with her in just a second. We'll check in with Maggie with the storm that's coming out of Cross County as well.
Yeah, that's right. They finally pulled that severe thunderstorm warning for the storm. Look at all this lightning. Barely can even see the radar on here because I do have the lightning. I want to go ahead and track that. But they're talking about hail close to 1 inch, but also the wind potential really out of the north. I want to show that actually first because lots of wind to continue. You can see those brighter greens when we're talking wind speed and direction, not seeing anything in terms of a tornadic risk, but seeing some very strong breezy winds up to 60 miles an hour, especially if you sit really north of wind in portions of Cross County. That's where we're seeing that wind potential right now, but still could see some hail out of this as well. And again, very breezy conditions and lots of lightning. This storm has really intensified. It's had a lot of lightning to start with, and now it's just really seeing. And I'm going to show you how much lightning we're seeing just within this individual cell that's in portions of Cross County, up to, I think that's 600. Yeah, I didn't wear my glasses today. 601, 602 lightning strikes just out of this one cell. So if you are in portions of Cross County from Wynn to Cherry Valley, seeing that's where the heaviest rain is falling, also where the strongest wind is right now. But this is going to continue again to trek in those same areas, pushing into portions of Cross County, Crittenden County, into Shelby County as well. So that's why we're watching these out to our west, and that's why we're going to continue to watch them as well, because they are trekking up the same area. You can see them moving. They have that track. It goes off to the east. If we track this all the way out, it'll continue over this same line from Millington all the way in between Covington and Somerville, which is where we already saw those severe thunderstorm warnings come into play. And we're going to continue to watch them as well. I think Patrick's going to, put that storm track on. Well, we're doing a lot of different things at the same time, but as this track's over, we're going to go ahead and put a storm track on again. It's going to go into those same areas, pushing over into portions of Shelby County, Coldwater, 12:33 p.m. Earl, that's not Coldwater, Mississippi, 12:46 around Earl, into Terrell around 1:04 p.m., Marion around 1:26 p.m. So we're going to continue to track these showers and storms as they make their way through. And again, pushing into those same areas is where we're really watching it. With this storm over in Cross County, main threats we're looking at right now is a lot of lightning, heavy rainfall, the potential for hail, but also very breezy conditions out of this one specific cell that we're watching in Cross County. So if you are in Cross County, especially between Wynne and then up into Harrisonburg, I encourage you get off the roadways, let this heavy shower and storm pass over you. Also pretty breezy, so could give you some trouble blowing you off the roadway if you are trying to travel as well. But we have that one. That's our other severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued. And then we have these two here in Shelby County, still seeing some heavy rain right around the Millington radar, but those showers and storms really still trekking out of the area. Patrick, continuing to trek into portions again of western Tennessee, Lauderdale over into Haywood County as well. That's the two severe thunderstorms that we're watching. Even though they still have those two here in Shelby County, we're really watching that one that's sitting south of Millington right now. Anything new, Patrick?
And I would not be surprised if they issue a downstream warning, because the original warning that went out, the top end warning, that is going to be allowed to expire at 12:30. So I wouldn't be surprised if they reissue a warning that's going to be for northern Fayette, southern Haywood, southern portions of Tipton County. This again, correlation coefficient, not debris detection right now. We're trying to look and see where the hail cores are in different ways, and there's still a good indicator of hail very close to Highway 196 and Highway 70. They're in northwestern portions of Fayette County. So the original warning there, that storm is now moving into, again, northwestern Fayette County at this point. We'll go back over to the traditional radar site and show you, again, when you see that pink, that is a good indicator, again, where we could have some hail. We've been watching the hail swath get larger. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if we hear that there's some hail that has started to fall across I-40, also across Highway 70 from Arlington up to Galloway to Braden. So that stretch right there is a no-go right now because of the potential for large hail. Now, we haven't gotten any reports of the size of hail, but it is very likely, given the situation at hand, that that storm is producing some large hail. Now, again, you see now only one warning in effect for Shelby, Fayette, and Tipton counties. Now, I want to reemphasize this. I do anticipate that they will probably downstream a new warning that will involve Tipton, Fayette, and Haywood counties. It may go as far east and clip far northwestern Hardeman County as well. But there's two storms still moving through Shelby County. When we look back over here at the radar, the how hard it's raining mode, there is still two distinct storms. The first one that issued the first warning is right here. The second one is right over the radar site. And I have a sneaking suspicion that we've got, because of the storm that's over the radar site right now, that we're not seeing the full breadth of what's happening at the storm downstream ahead of it. So there is going to be a little bit of what we call attenuation happening here, where it diminishes what's happening because of how heavy the rain's coming down over the radar site at the present. Now, once that storm moves off of the radar, I have a sneaking suspicion that that thing's going to perk up pretty high yet again, as we've been watching, again, when we throw this back into 3D mode. Again, it's unmistakable, Maggie, that there is definitely some hail, and I think the hail is starting to descend. When you start to see that down closer to the ground there, the pinks and the reds getting down to the ground like that, it is a good indicator that probably right in through here, we've got some hail right along Highway 70, crossing over I-40. I want to say that's going to get, this is going to be close to where, like I said, where the Buc-ee's is going to go eventually. And, you're starting to head up towards the north. I want to say it's going to be heading up there close to that rest area there along I-40 here within the next 15, 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the one we're tracking for. It's still seeing that hail potential. Right now, you're seeing 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. The one in Jonesboro is outside of our coverage area. We're watching this one out of Wynne. And I think they had the RDOT camera. Do you guys still have a live look at this? Okay, so this is RDOT camera over in Brinkley, Arkansas. So again, this is just outside of our coverage area, but still seeing those heavier pockets moving through. Again, it's just right outside. So it's still looking at these showers and storms that's pressing into portions of eastern Arkansas. If you get out, this is what you're looking at. very heavy rainfall. You can even see it coming down on the camera. You even see it as that person's driving. So wet roadways, that's going to be the story as you're making your way across the area. If you do run into one of these isolated downpours, we go ahead and put First Alert Doppler radar back on there. Just want to give you a live look of that's what you're dealing with here. That's the one that's really looking at these storms in portions of eastern Arkansas that we're seeing just trek into the Mid-South. Again, these are going to be making their way once again into portions of Shelby County, really seeing them move along that same vein from Cross County all the way stretching over the Mississippi River, and then also going to be stretching into portions of Shelby County into western Tennessee as well. But we're watching these in portions of western Tennessee stretching from northern portions of Shelby County all the way along 40. What we've really been watching, why these have been issued for the most part, has been the potential for their hail, as Patrick has been seeing, really up to an inch hail, and we really saw it spike up earlier as well. Again, northern portions of Shelby County tracking into portions of Tipton, Lauderdale, and Haywood County as they make their way through. We've been continuing to watch this. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that, but watch this and show them because we are seeing hail up to an inch. So that's why these have been issued, these severe thunderstorm warnings. Also the potential for some damaging winds as well. But I think these winds that are in Shelby County, main threat we're watching for as they make their way out is that potential for hail. But we're going to continue to watch, and again, watch those ones that are coming out of portions of eastern Arkansas as well for the potential of hail, wind, and then also locally heavy rainfall. But if you're just tuning in with us, again, our First Alert meteorologist Maggie McCauley, Patrick Ellis is here as well, and we also have Kelly Cook over on the desk. We're continuing to watch strong showers and storms push through, really have spiked up over the last 30 minutes to an hour, and they're continuing to do so as they make their way into the Mid-South. We have one severe thunderstorm warning that's over in Cross County, another one that's in portions of Shelby County pushing out of the area to Tipton, Lauderdale, and Haywood County, all for the potential of hail and wind. Anything new over there, Patrick?
Just looking at the storm in Cross County, for one, the possibility of upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour in winds and that storm that's could be making its way down to the surface. Kelly Cook just showed me a picture. We got into the station not terribly long ago of some hail. It was about to be quarter size there near Bartlett. So if you can safely send in your pictures, please let us know, because again, you are the eyes and ears out there. I'm stuck in a studio that has no windows, so I can't see it, but you know, you guys are the ones who are seeing it, so we can pass that along, especially to the Weather Service, and that's what I'm in the process of doing. Still looking at the potential for large hail. It's still moving through northwestern portions of Fayette County. I want to zoom out a little bit, and again, that storm is pretty tall. I mean, like, it is, you know, we're starting to talk about some pretty tall towers with that storm, and there has been indications of large hail potential with the first storm that is moving through northwestern portions of Fayette County. And like I said, I would not be surprised next up if they issue a new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be downstream of that to include more sections of Fayette County, Tipton County, and Haywood County. The other storm of note here is the one that's still got the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for portions of Shelby County. We still have a storm that's moving through Shelby County that has shown some signs of large hail, as well as it's been moving off towards the north and towards the east here over the last little bit. So again, we've got multiple storms moving through the Mid-South here at this point in time. We'll throw that back into the irregular mode. And again, you can kind of see there's two storms of note just within the metro area at this point. Not to mention, we've got the other storm that Maggie was just talking about heading over into Cross County. It's blowing through Cross County right now. So I want to emphasize this. This one looks like it's more of a wind signature. So when we put on the velocity signature, yeah, most definitely. We see those greens right there. There is some good indications there. 50+ mile per hour winds, 60 mile per hour winds potentially here. That's crossing Highway 1 and Highway 64. That's crossing Highway 1 and Highway 64, going right down 64. So Parkins next, Earls next, Turles next, as well as Clarkdale. If that continues on an eastward track and will cross I-55 somewhere around between Turle and Marion, so that would be very close to like the Clarkdale exit up there if this holds together with that severe storm. Like I said, when we go over to the hail potential with this storm, as in Cross County, and show you that, not nearly as strong of a signature as the one that's currently in Shelby County, as well as the one that's moving through northern portions of Fayette County. Like I said, we did get a report of quarter-size hail in Bartlett within the last couple of minutes, and that's something.
If you want them to go ahead and pull that up, you can talk over that.
Yeah, if we have the
go ahead and pull
picture.
up.
So Patrick Luckett's sending this picture in from Bartlett. And again, that's about quarter-size hail. That's severe rated hail that you see there. So again, we're getting some reports of hail of the storm moving through Bartlett within the last couple of minutes. We called out Bartlett, Egypt, as well as the north end of Raleigh, moving across that area within the last little bit. I don't know if this came from the first storm or the second storm, but probably the second storm that's currently moving through northeastern Shelby County at this point, Maggie.
Yeah, that's right, and that is exactly that. Make sure you see. If you get any pictures safely after the storm passes over, make sure to send it to us on actionnews5.com. Under the tab, share your pics under the weather tab. You can always email it to us as well. But that's what we're looking at, is the potential for hail and wind out of this, but especially here in Shelby County, passing into portions of Tipton, Lauderdale, Haywood County. That's going to be the main threat for you as these showers and storms kick in. Just been a few rounds of them. I'm going to go ahead and check out that last round that's extending in portions of really northern Shelby County, along 40 as well. It's going to be making its way out in Braden around 12:44 p.m., around Tabernacle around 12:55 p.m., Stanton around 1:02, Daintyville around 1:11 p.m. So you're not over with yet. If you are downstream of these showers and storms that we have been talking about, again, you are not done yet. I did not mean to do that, but we are seeing hail out of this as well. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out of this if it will let me. I'm going to have to walk over and show you. Sorry,
I got
guys,
you.
But Patrick could talk to you.
Listen, it's like I can get you back to where you need to be.
Thank you. Patrick's better at this than me, if you can't tell.
I'm horrible at that thing, and we're trying to fix it.
Anyway, first alert Doppler radar, still seeing showers and storms extending in portions of Shelby County all the way outside of the Mid-South coverage area, and not done with yet, because we're watching these, but we're also watching all of these showers and storms that are continuing to press on to eastern Arkansas. That's all we've been talking about, waves of rain over the past few days. We called today a first alert weather day because of this right here. Waves of showers and storms that have the possibility to be strong to severe, and a few of them are. Again, portions of Cross County seeing that shower and storm, mainly for heavy downpours, lightning, also windy conditions as well. And then the ones that are pressing through Shelby County into Lauderdale, Tipton, Haywood County, they're seeing the potential of some hail. So overall, showers and storms, North Mississippi remains untouched today. So if you are watching this in North Mississippi, not seeing anything there for you, we're watching areas of eastern Arkansas into western Tennessee, and that's really where we've been watching over the last few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to portions of western Tennessee. A lot of lightning associated with this. Well, Millington stretching into portions of Brownsville. That shower and storm really outside of that severe thunderstorm warning now. They might go ahead and extend it downstream of that, but it's pressing outside of Shelby County at the moment. And honestly, the rain rate, I'm going to look at the rain rate. Sometimes you can see the intensity of that and also the potential for hail. Not looking as impressive, but still could be dropping some hail as it makes its way outside of Shelby County. These are really stretching if you're traveling along just south of Covington, south of Brownsville, outside again along 40, stretching from portions of Millington outside of the Mid-South coverage area. So heavy rainfall associated with that. I know we saw an RDOT cam. You got to see a live look of what's going on outside. Not great traveling conditions, and you especially don't want to be traveling if there's the potential for hail on these as well. Could be damaging to your car and also to your windshield. So that's why we're continuing to monitor and watch these. That other one sitting in portions of Cross County, lots of lightning with that. But again, these showers and storms really have made their way outside of Shelby County. We're going to continue to watch them in western Tennessee. But I think the next one, Patrick, that we're going to have to keep our eye on is actually in portions of eastern Arkansas.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I'm going to be watching for, or that we're going to be watching for the National Weather Service to extend that warning, because that's going to be passing again in portions of Cross County, Crittenden County, all the way into northern portions of Shelby County, where we just saw those severe thunderstorm warnings issued and now pushed outside of this. So I wouldn't be surprised once this gets closer in hand for them to go ahead and extend that and us to see yet another severe thunderstorm warning setting up in those same areas, which does have the potential to lead to some localized flooding concerns as well. Patrick, I don't know if they've said anything about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that next storm is going to be the one that has the wind potential. I just got another report of in Galloway, nickel-size hail in Galloway not terribly long ago. That's better than what it could have been, let's say that, but at least at that part of Galloway, we got a report of nickel-size hail. Now, this is a 1-hour futurecast of what's going on right now, trying to extrapolate that for the next hour. So I want to give you as much lead time as possible because the storm that's moving out of Shelby County, I think now, based off of what we're seeing, is showing some indications of weakening, but the storms behind it, not so much. Of course, we go from a hail potential over to a wind potential with that next band of storms. You can kind of see that bowing segment. Basically, as you're looking behind the storms, it's starting to edge its way out of the area. Well, that may be the case as it's moving into northern portions of Crittenden County, eventually into Shelby and Tipton counties here by the time we get towards the end of the 1 o'clock hour. So time right now is coming up on 12:45. We are still dealing with a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings right now. Presently, there's a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. You see one that just came out for Obion County as well. So we've got a couple of storms up north, also severe. Basically 4 severe thunderstorm warnings within the Action News 5 area, we'll say it that way, but 2 inside the coverage area specifically. The one that's over in wind is going to be the one of note, I think, here in the next little bit, mainly from the wind perspective. I want to go back over to, which way the winds are blowing mode. And again, when you look at the greens there, that's blowing towards the radar site in Millington. Okay, so it's moving from west to east. That wind right there is blowing and at elevation about 55 miles an hour. It's coming right down Highway 64. So from Wynn to Earl, we're going to start to see that potential. So again, the cross-county storm showing some good wind signatures there, or high wind signatures. And as I mentioned earlier, from Wynn to Earl, over towards Clarkdale. That is going to be the stretch there right along Highway 64. Wynn, Parkin, Earl, Clarkdale. That would then move over towards Shelby Forest, Millington, North Memphis, and if it holds together, maybe even the southern portions of Tipton County. That would be probably the next warning that we get. That would probably be within the next, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or so, wouldn't you say, as we're getting towards the end of that polygon?
Yeah, that's right. I could see them go ahead and extending that as well, especially because that wind signature has really peaked up. Take a look. Patrick was showing you that. I'm going to show it to you as well. Winds up to really 57 or 60 miles an hour. That's why that warning is issued. But seeing that on our system around 57 miles an hour, tracking that out. So strong winds associated with this shower and storm as it passes through portions of Cross County. Again, this has made its way past Wynn. It's now sitting mainly along 64, really north of 64 in Arkansas, where we're seeing the strongest winds start to peak, pushing into portions of Parkin as well. So we're going to continue to watch and monitor this shower and storm because it's the next down the line. It's going to be making its way into portions of Shelby County. Lots of lightning associated with this as well. You can just see heavy downpours in portions of Cross County, Arkansas right now. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out though to show you an overall look of what we're watching. Patrick was talking about, go ahead.
As well. New warning coming out for Poinsett County for half-dollar size hail. That's going to be the one that's in southwestern portions of Poinsett County, so south and west of Harrisburg, the one that you see there perking up there in the far southwestern corner of the county. Just want to give you a heads up, give you a first alert to that. That warning will be coming out here shortly, but I did want to show you that storm again that Maggie was talking about coming into Cross County, but on the north end of it, we're getting a new severe thunderstorm warning that will come out for Poinsett County here very shortly.
That's right. So showers and storms starting to peak up in portions of eastern Arkansas. Oh, and there goes that warning for portions of Poinsett County. So now we're dealing with not only 1 but 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in portions of eastern Arkansas. I'm going to monitor and talk about these because the one in Shelby County mainly out of here, pushing to portions of western Tennessee, also weakening as it does. Not the same story though for those showers and storms in portions of eastern Arkansas. Again, seeing not 1 but 2 severe thunderstorm warnings right now, 1 in Cross County, 1 in Poinsett County. So I think if you're from Harrisburg down into Wynn, just know you're seeing very heavy rainfall, showers and storms. Also looking at Wynn for the wind, not wind, for the potential for that one in Cross County. And I think hail is the potential for the one we're looking at in portions of Poinsett County. So let me see on our hail tracker if that's kind of tracking it out. I think it's seeing that peak just really along the Poinsett and Cross County line is what it's watching for, kind of starting to peak up. These showers and storms, though, they could be producing hail. And when we're watching for the potential for both, we know the threat is there for both of those as well. So we're going to continue to watch these out of eastern Arkansas, again, because they're going to be coming down the line. People in eastern Arkansas are already dealing with them. But hey, heads up, portions of western Tennessee, Shelby County, to Crittenden, Mississippi County, you're going to be seeing those as they press through over the next few minutes. They're going to be making their way easterly as we head over really the next 15 to 30 minutes. You can see them stretching Harrisburg over into wind. Lots of lightning associated with these as well as we watch them. Go ahead and look at that one though in portions of Poinsett County. Watching it again just sitting south of Harrisburg. This is really including Poinsett and Cross County. So it's going to be making its way again to portions of Mississippi County as well. So heads up if you do live in portions of Osceola. These showers and storms are mainly moving off to the east, but a little bit of a northerly flow with them as well as they cross over the Mississippi River into portions of western Tennessee. But these are these two new severe thunderstorm warnings, or this is the one we've been watching, the Poinsett County one. The one in Cross County is not new, but I would expect them to go ahead and issue yet another warning for that downstream as we're watching it. But seeing that heaviest portion of rain and lightning right now sitting in portions south of Harrisburg right now in portions of Poinsett County. Going to go ahead and put a track on that. If you do live in portions of Poinsett, Mississippi County, this is making its way into your area. Going to go ahead and track that out. Harrisburg around 12:49 p.m. Mark Tree around 1:14 p.m. and then into Dyes around 1:36. Joyner around 1:42 p.m. So new warnings put out. If you are within that list, just know strong shower and storm making its way into your area. Potential for damaging winds and also hail as it makes its way further into portions of eastern Arkansas, eventually into portions of western Tennessee. So I think these are the main two we're watching. I think that severe thunderstorm warning, Patrick, in Shelby County, they're just going to go ahead.
They're going to probably let that one go until at 1, maybe even a little earlier than that, because that storm continues to weaken. Just getting word from our sister station in Jonesboro, Arkansas. They briefly had a wall cloud south of Jonesboro on one of their weather cams. They just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Craighead, Dunklin, Greene, and Mississippi County. I wanted to show you the overreaching theme here, and that's going to come from that one storm that's way up to the north. It's outside the Action News 5 coverage area there in Craighead County. I know we have some folks that probably do pick us up over the air there, but our sister station KAIT, they are reporting the possibility of seeing a brief wall cloud there southwest of Jonesboro with the storm. That would be the possibility that this thing's starting to turn. Let's hope that that's not the case, and we still got some strong wind potential. Not only that, okay, we've got really two storms to watch here over the next little bit. And I'll put a stop here. This is the future cast, okay? So the future scan of the storms that are moving through. This is the storm right now that's moving through portions across Poinsett, soon to be Crittenden and southern Mississippi County. That one will then scoot across the Mississippi River sometime around, say, 2 o'clock this afternoon. The other one is a new severe thunderstorm that is down to the south. That's coming out of the let's see here. All right. So it looks like they went ahead and canceled the warning for Fayette, Shelby, and Tipton. And what we'll do here, we'll just hold here until 1. You know, what else is paid programming? Anyways, we've got the potential for rain and storms that could be strong or severe moving towards Phillips County, Arkansas, Lee County, Arkansas. So those storms are also strong and severe at this point as we go through a little bit. I want to check in with Kelly Cook really quickly. And she's been sitting here patiently waiting. I do want to check in, but right now actively we only have the one severe thunderstorm warning for Cross and Poinsett counties right now. But do we have any updates on MLGW numbers? Anything like that coming in from the news desk this morning?
Well, here's the good thing about all that is that I'm glad to see that warning expired because MLGW is reporting limited number of outages. So we've only got about 271 customers that are affected, 19 outages across the MLGW viewing area. So that's certainly good. So my
yeah, actually, I realized that your mic was sitting down there.
Put on a mic. How about that? So if you didn't catch that, but yeah, the MLGW outages does not seem to be that big of a deal in this area, which means the storm has come in, I guess, guys, and moved through and didn't cause too much damage. However, we've been getting hail video from Rosemark, which is in Tipton County, as well as some other areas which may be having some issues as well. Bartlett also sending in some hail video. So if you've got some video, we'd love to see it. Could you send it in to us at desk@wmctv.com so our meteorologist can see it and kind of gauge how this storm is moving. There we go. Thank you to that viewer, Patrick, for sending that in to us. That is in Bartlett. And what would you say, guys? What is that, about dime or quarter?
The first one was probably quarters. This one from Millington, from Mike, who sent this picture in, probably closer to dimes. So, you know, some change size hail that has fallen out of some of the skies. And like I said, I also had a report from Galloway, nickel size hail that came in as well. So we had nickel size hail in Galloway. We had quarter size in Bartlett and dime size in Millington. But I think that may be a little bit skewed. It depends on where you are, depending on where the storms ultimately came through. Looks like, you know, as far as the next couple of hours are concerned, you know, we may get pretty active here between now and, you know, 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. That's the kind of time frame that we looked at, Maggie, the last couple of days, or at least the last day or so. The storm that's moving through Cross County, though, that thing's got some wind associated with it. It's moving through there. You got a track on it, don't you?
On the one that's moving in Cross County, all the way up in Poinsett County as well, because those are the two warnings that we have. They're letting that one in Shelby County right now expire because those shower storms are out and they have weakened. So we're going
just came out. This is going to include Shelby.
Yep.
So for the same reason right there, we just talked about it.
Yep.
This goes until 1:45.
Yeah, okay, so this new one goes into 145, and you can see it extended. We talked about how they're probably going to extend it from Cross County into Shelby County because the shower and storm has not weakened. It's still strong out there for strong winds, also the potential for hail. So we're looking at really two main ones. That one is extended into portions of Shelby County that's in wind. Also the one in Poinsett County just sitting off to the north as well. But I'm watching it, went ahead and put a storm track on there for you from extending into eastern Arkansas into western Tennessee, just to give you even more of a heads up, just so you know, because this is going to continue to push through really around those same places. So Joyner around 1:15 p.m., Shelby Forest around 1:24 p.m. I've called out that multiple times. Millington yet again around 1:40 p.m. Atoka, Tennessee around 1:51 p.m. Brighton around 1:57 p.m. and Covington around 2:04 p.m. So that is those showers and storms, really both of them trekking into portions of eastern Arkansas. But to go ahead and reset and let you know what's going on, if you're just now joining us, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Maggie McCauley. First Alert Meteorologist Patrick Ellis is also here, and we are on air with you because of this new severe thunderstorm warning that's issued for portions of Cross County, stretching all the way into portions of Shelby County as well. So that's the storm that we're going to be watching. Main thing that we've really been watching out of this particular storm in portions of Cross County has been the wind. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in and show you that's really now just pushing into portions east of wind. Still seeing a lot of lightning. It's about to cross over 55. So if you know anyone traveling portions of eastern Arkansas, especially closer into the Mississippi River from Osceola down into Cross and Crittenden County, just know that this shower and storm is about to make its way over. Lots of lightning, heavy rainfall, not going to be fun to show as well. So this is that main one that we're going to be watching for, mainly because it's extending its warning all the way into portions of Shelby County. Main thing we are watching with this is the potential and still seeing some wind signatures on there, some bright wind signatures in portions of eastern Cross County, pushing into portions of Crittenden County. That's why this one really has been issued. Wouldn't be surprised if there was some small hail in it, but main threat we're looking at as this pushes into portions of Shelby County and into western Tennessee is going to be that potential for wind. So that's what we're looking for. That's why they've go ahead and extended that as well. So we're going to be watching for that, still seeing those wind wind signatures up to 60 miles an hour. So that is at severe limits. That's why it's been extended, because it's still intensifying. It's still making its way into severe limits into portions of Crittenden and then eventually into Shelby County. So we're watching portions of eastern Arkansas. These are where those showers and storms are developing, and then they're making their way into portions further into the mid-south. As Patrick said, it's really over the next few hours that we're going to watch these continue to have that juice, have the momentum, and continue to make their way into the mid-south. But that's just that next one that we're going to be watching for, again, in portions of eastern Arkansas. Patrick, they say that's why the wind is why they kind of
It's definitely the wind on that one. The hail threat on that particular storm is not all that great, but still wind, I think, is the primary issue there. There's also the warning that's a little farther to the north up into Poinsett County. That's actually a hail signature there in southwestern portions of Poinsett County. Again, another look at this, moving off to the east now, picking up a little speed at 35 miles per hour. It's got some wind with it. And Mel, I know you got some video back there, I think from Lakeland. All right, so let's take a look at some hail video from Lakeland, and we'll circle back to this here in just a second. But whenever you guys got it called up, there you go. This is from Lakeland earlier this afternoon of some of the hail that was falling there in northeastern Shelby County. And of course, coming down, not terribly bad. We had some decent rain that came along with it as well. But also you see some of the hailstones coming down here. Don't know what size it was. I can't really tell from the video itself, but definitely based off of the radar indications, definitely some hail coming down there in Lakeland, Tennessee. Let's come back over to Links, and again, I'll show you the storm track on this storm, which has got a lot of wind energy coming straight down Highway 64, coming past Parkin, Earl, and eventually out towards Turl and Clarkdale. So, Mel, let's go ahead and get an RDOT camera that's going to be on I-55, either Clarkdale, James Mill, or at Turl. One of those three. Maybe we can see an indication. I think the one at Turl actually is pointing westward. Which one is this one? I think, okay, so that's Turl. All right, so this is a look at I-55 looking southbound at Turl at this point. And again, getting ready for that storm to move in here. Light rain right now, but it's about to come down in buckets here soon enough as that storm, and we'll check in with that camera here again. But again, that storm will move across I-55 in about 15 minutes or so. The warning is up until 1:45, and it does include western portions of Shelby County. So we've extended it all the way out to Shelby County. And notice it probably gets to Shelby Forest, northwestern portions of Shelby County as we get closer to like 140 or so, 152 in Millington. Okay, so you don't have to, you just hop over Highway 51 from Shelby Forest over to Millington, and it'll be right there. So again, this is the storm of note right now. The storm earlier, and I'll zoom out and I'll give you the broad perspective of the entire area. I know if you're watching in Oxford, Mississippi, you're like, ain't a storm nearby. Corinth, Mississippi, not a storm nearby. What are you talking about? I get it. I understand. Most of this right now, West Tennessee, eastern Arkansas, but notice the trajectory of all of this as we put this in motion over the last hour. It's generally been easterly. That easterly push is going to push that wind direction in our area here very soon. Seeing some reports of golf ball size hail in Jonesboro. So golf ball size hail in Jonesboro up at the ASU campus, and seeing some marble and quarter size hail near Jonesboro. So again, some big hail falling up in Craighead County, just outside the Action News 5 coverage area. We know we have some friends and family who live up in Craighead County, Jonesboro. They are definitely dealing with a fairly strong storm up that way. But you see the general progression here. I think the biggest impact with the storm that's coming through portions of Cross County is going to be wind. Now moving into western portions of Crittenden County. So again, we're going to be watching those RDOT cameras like a hawk there. I do want to go to the storm that is moving through portions of Craighead County. And the reason why I want to do that is because it may clip far northern portions of Mississippi County here very shortly. And that is a straight up supercell. Screaming eagle, if you will, with that storm. I want to put a storm track on that coming right over Jonesboro. Look at that hail core, and again, upwards of golf ball size hail at the ASU campus. That will come across places like Monette over towards Leachville. So I'll put a storm track on the actual hail core and extend this out an extra 30 minutes or so and get as many towns into Mississippi County we can with that storm as it's moving off towards the north and east. Again, Leachville by about 1:38, Manila by 1:45, and moves into southern portions of Dunklin County, Missouri, into the Boot Hill, also about that same time frame. So I want to give as much lead time for that because golf ball size hail can do some big damage there. And of course, for our friends in Jonesboro and eastern Craighead County, not a great situation for them, but that will eventually move over into northwestern portions of Mississippi County as well. Leachville, Manila, the Big Lake area, Dell, and eventually Blytheville, probably closer to like 2 o'clock this afternoon. So Blytheville, on the west side of Blytheville, probably getting this storm here in your general vicinity here soon enough. I do want to go back down south to the storm of note with the wind signature, and this is going to be the storm that's coming out of Cross County, now moving into Crittenden County. And again, a very strong indication of strong winds blowing eastward. 60 plus mile per hour winds here. And of course, like I said, that could do some damage. That is right on the Cross, and that last one I just did was on the Cross and Crittenden County. Okay. We'll take that in here in just a second. I want to show you that 60 mile per hour right there on the Cross Crittenden County line. Now, granted, that's elevated, but that could very well come down to the ground. Let's go to that RDOT camera in Jonesboro, Arkansas right now. That storm, is this going to be like Highway 49? Stadium Boulevard and Highway 49. Okay, so yeah, Stadium Boulevard and Highway 49. So that's going to be very close to where that hail core just moved past. I mean, that storm is still coming down pretty good, but the storm right now in Jonesboro is going to be north and east of the city of Jonesboro. It's moving up Highway 49, heading up towards the Brooklyn area here very shortly. Let's come back home. Let's come back into the Mid-South. And again, the storm is of note that is working its way eastward. It's going to be this one that's coming into western portions of Crittenden County here very shortly. So the next one I want to have up, Mel, is going to be probably I-55, either at Turrell or Clarkdale. All right, thank you for working with me here. New severe thunderstorm warning coming out for Lee and Phillips County. Large hail potential with that storm down there coming in right now. So for our friends in Morrow as well as Mariana, time to action now, not just from the wind perspective, but large hail potential coming out of Arkansas as we are making our way into southwestern portions of the Action News 5 coverage area at this point. So several severe thunderstorms right along the line, basically along the I-55 corridor. And guess what? Eventually that's got to come shooting eastward. If you remember watching the First Alert Futurecast, there were multiple runs here over the course of the last 24 to 36 hours that had a line of storm sometime between about lunchtime and 4 o'clock in the afternoon that would come shooting across the entire viewing area. And unfortunately, that's the case at this point with these storms. So multiple severe thunderstorms moving across the area. I want to check in with, all right, let's take a look at that Clarkdale camera really quickly. Not much right now. We're looking northward. Very soon, that camera might be very active with a lot of rain and wind. Let's keep an eye on that one. Let's go over to First Alert meteorologist Maggie McCauley over at the wall. She's tracking the hail potential coming out of heading into western portions of Lee County, Arkansas.
Got a new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be pressing into Lee and Phillips County, Arkansas because of hail. They actually put on this warning hail up to 1.5 inches. So we're going to be continuing to see it just tracking or just updating. Hail tracker seeing hail up to 1 inch right now. So we're going to be watching this again. Hail's potential with this. It's not pushed in just yet. I'm going to go ahead and put our radar back on there so you can see exactly where it is. Rain's still pushing in, but that hail just now making its way, or that hail potential, into portions of the Mid-South. Really going to be along 79 is where we're continuing to trek that out. If I put the hail back on there, you can see it trekking into portions of the Mid-South, crossing over 49. It's going to be trekking again very close to 79, portions of Morrow right now as well. Lee and Phillips County, that's where the severe thunderstorm warning is located, in portions of eastern Arkansas. They've extended that into the Mid-South coverage area because of that potential for hail. Let me go ahead and zoom out so you can see exactly where I'm at. Again, it's going to be pushing into portions of Mariana, Arkansas as well. Lots of lightning associated with this. Hail up to 1.5 inches. So very damaging hail as it makes its way through as well. Has the potential of producing that. And it's going to be making its way into portions of Lee and Phillips County, eventually into portions of Tunica, Mississippi as well, which has really been untouched. Let me go ahead and zoom out for you. If that makes its way over, that severe thunderstorm warning, rain's going to make its way over, but if that continues with the intensity it is now, that's going to be the first strong shower and storm that we've seen in North Mississippi. These have really all been trekking out in portions of eastern Arkansas into western Tennessee. Still seeing the heaviest trekking portions of eastern Arkansas pushing into western Tennessee, but finally starting to see a few start to pop up in portions of eastern Arkansas, more down into portions of the Delta that will eventually make its way into North Mississippi. So heads up for portions of Tunica down into DeSoto, Tate, Panola County, Quitman County. These showers and storms eventually going to be making its way easterly, really as we head over the next 30 minutes to an hour. If they do stay at the intensity they are now, we're still seeing the potential of hail, damaging winds, and also very heavy rainfall as they make their way through. So still watching that, again, because it's going to be entering an area that's been relatively untouched for the day. So that's that latest severe thunderstorm warning that we got issued. Still watching the ones that are in portions of eastern Arkansas, really seeing 3 in a row lined up here from portions of Jonesboro where we saw. And we're probably going to get a 4th as well.
It looks like they're probably going to go with a new severe thunderstorm warning that will kind of encompass southern portions of Craighead into Mississippi County to cover the issue of the RFD, or the rear-flowing downdraft, blasting eastward. So that would be near Bay and Caraway. That'll move into western portions of Mississippi County here fairly shortly. So just a heads up, a new severe thunderstorm warning coming out for the southern sections of Craighead County into western portions of Mississippi County here shortly.
Yeah, and that makes sense because that shower and storm has pretty much kept with its intensification. If we go back over here, he's talking about that one that's currently passing through portions of Craighead County, but it is going to be trekking its way into portions of Mississippi County, which is in the Mid-South coverage area. Main thing we've been watching with this shower and storm is the potential for hail, but not only hail, but pretty large hail at that coming down. We saw some pictures or some reports from the campus of Arkansas State United. Okay, let's go ahead and take that. Okay, so we have a RDOT camera in Bay, Arkansas. That's very close to Jonesboro. Let's go ahead and look at what they're seeing. This is that RDOT cam. I believe Bay, Arkansas is still in Craighead County.
Yes.
But still seeing lots of rain on the roadways, wet roadways, not necessarily, well, I'm trying to look closer.
Well, it looks like that's right. That's looking south. So what you're seeing there is the rain shooting across I-555, and you can kind of see it blowing back towards the left-hand side of the screen. That would be eastward. That makes sense based off of where the storm is currently located at, which is just east of Bay. So where you're looking at, that wind is blowing on the backside. That's the RFD, the rear flank downdraft coming around, and that's what's going to get a new severe thunderstorm warning here very shortly. They have upped that warning to the south. The one that's in Crittenden County, up to 70 miles per hour. That will be also for Shelby County. 70 mile per hour wind potential coming into Shelby County within the next 45 minutes or so.
Yeah, that's right. So that's the one we're looking at in Bay, but also seeing what Patrick just said of that new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be coming into portions of Shelby County. Let me go ahead and let's look at what they're going to be issuing that for as well. Lots of rain associated with that. Also seeing wind potential coming into portions of Crittenden County, eventually into Shelby County. That's probably why they're going to issue that. Take a look at what exactly our system is showing. Still seeing those really bright greens. Again, this is looking at wind speed and direction. So let's talk about how high our system is actually going to be seeing winds. Again, they're putting it up to 70, Patrick.
Yes, they went ahead and did a update to the warning. 70 mile per hour winds, that would put it at a considerable potential here moving across the I-55 corridor. So Mel, let's go ahead and get that camera back up either at Turl or Clarkdale within the next couple of minutes. Very shortly, it's going to cross 55 here very shortly at Turl, and that means that it will probably be in northwestern Shelby County within the next, say, 30 minutes or so, maybe even a little shorter than that, crossing the Mississippi River.
Yeah, that's right, and that's that same area. We've seen these strong showers and storms come down, but we've really been trekking hail out of those. This time we're going to be talking about the main threat being wind, even up to 70 miles an hour. It's very damaging winds as well. Let's go ahead and pull up that camera that you had. Yep.
So that's going to be looking northbound along, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be On 55. So yeah, so you see, so that's at 55 and 555. And very shortly, we're about to get blasted with winds here very shortly. And you can see the rain picking up. We don't advise travel on 55, I can tell you that much right now. But of course, you see a lot of folks out there at this point, and hopefully they've got the warning here within the last couple of minutes. But we're about to see the severity of this storm, and that will give us some indication of what to expect in northwestern Shelby County here shortly within the next 30 minutes or so. Obviously, sheets of rain coming down at this point and moving eastward at about 35 miles per hour. I don't know if we can double box this and put this in one box and put either Lynx or Max in the box. Just let me know whenever you can, and let's go back over to the camera. Because it's better to show you the camera than the gobbledygook on the radar. Again, that's what you will see in northern portions of Crittenden County as the storm is moving through right now.
I'm surprised that camera's working.
I'm surprised as well. If you've been out in that area, that's nothing but flat land out there. So that wind is shooting across all the delta fields right now, and it's unobstructed. So, I mean, that's not going to slow it down. You see some folks getting off on the frontage road, and of course, some of the trucks with their flashers on going in and out. Again, you're looking northbound from the I-55, I-555 interchange in Turl, Arkansas, where we have a severe thunderstorm that's moving through there with radar estimated winds that would be in the excess of 60 miles per hour, but the potential is there for upwards of 70 miles per hour. Now, it's going to take a while for this to clear this area, so you know we're not going to see very much more than what you're seeing right now, but this gives you an indication of what we are seeing. Maggie's got a track on Max to show you where that storm is headed here in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and check out that storm, but not only the storm, but where we're seeing that strongest wind potential. Again, we saw that just out of Terrell. It's going to continue to trek across the Mississippi River and be in Marion, Arkansas around 1:23 p.m. Shelby Forest around 1:33 p.m. Frazier 1:43 p.m. Millington, Tennessee around 1:50 p.m. Atoka around 2:03 p.m. and Brighton around 2:10 p.m. So again, for those listed on the screen, we are watching this potential for winds in excess 60, even up to 70 miles an hour. That can do some damage as it's making its way through. Still seeing a pretty good wind signature here as we're watching it as well. That's what those bright greens are as well. So that's passing in portions of Crittenden County. It's going to be passing over the river as well. Let me go ahead and put the radar back on there, seeing that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, stretching into portions of Shelby County. Also seeing that Boeing segment, that's where those strongest winds are that I just showed you. Really watching that come out. It's going to be crossing over the river again into around those same areas in portions of northern Shelby County. If you are in portions of northern Shelby County, again, we said it's not over with for you. We've been seeing your area see these showers and storms over and over again, but we have been talking about hail. Now we're talking about the potential for very strong winds. So heads up if you are in portions of northern Shelby County. If you don't already, I would go ahead and have your indoor furniture in, anything that can blow away things of that nature that you have outdoors. Go ahead and bring them indoors if you still want them in the next really 15 to 20 minutes, because these shower and storms going to blow through, and it's going to be pretty fast as it does. Again, a lot of lightning associated with these shower and storm, about to pass over 55. We've been talking about this for a while as well in portions of really Mississippi down into Crittenden County. Once again, seeing some really heavy rainfall beginning to pass over there as well. Not great driving conditions, especially with those breezy conditions. Winds in excess of 60 to even up to 70 miles an hour does have the potential to blow you off the road. So if you do know anyone who is traveling in this area, you're going to want to give them a call, let them know that this is on the way. And if you're on this area, go ahead and just stay off, and then you can get back on and go about your day. You're not going to want to be on the roadways as this making its way through. But that's the latest severe thunderstorm warning that we're watching, again, in portions of eastern Arkansas, that's continuing to push into portions of western Tennessee. These other ones that we've been tracking in portions of western Tennessee, that's Covington over to portions of Crockett County, Jackson, Tennessee, they've really died off. So they're kind of peaking from eastern Arkansas into portions of Shelby County, also into portions of Haywood County as well. Lauderdale County, we watch them kind of pop off and then dissipate as they make their way further into portions of Tennessee. So that's been the hot spot area so far, is eastern Arkansas and then just across the river. Also seeing severe thunderstorm warning though in portions of really eastern Arkansas, but does have the potential to go into portions of North Mississippi that we haven't seen so far yet. This one, again, the potential for hail as it makes its way through as well. Patrick, anything new that you have going on with that?
I just wanted to put a storm track on that whole line as it's moving through here. Of course, this is going to move off to the east at about 35 miles per hour. And I want to give you as much lead time in the city of Memphis as well as in Shelby County here as much as possible. It'll be approaching West Memphis. I want to give you time. Time right now is 1:17. All right, West Memphis by 1:46. That will be at the bottom end of the line there, but of course, it obviously is blowing through Crittenden County at the present. We're talking Mud Island, Harbortown, Fraser, sometime around 1:50 or so, okay? And I think that may be a little bit too late. I think it may be a little bit sooner than that, up towards as you're getting closer to like Whitney, and 51 as you're getting up towards the north end of town, getting closer and closer to Millington. And Millington, closer to like 148. So it's wherever that Boeing segment is the strongest element right now. That is where the strongest winds are going to be located at, as that storm is moving off towards the east at 35 miles per hour. Let's take that camera if we can, and if we got the double box, do that. There we go. There's the double box of the Turl camera and what's going on right now with the radar. So on the left-hand side of the screen, that is I-55 and 555 at Turl, Arkansas. That is where the strongest band of showers and thunderstorms are currently located at. Not only are you dealing with the strong winds, but there are some pockets of hail that may be involved with that as well amid the torrential downpours. This is one of the big things that we talked about today, was torrential downpours. And that may be one of the more prevalent things, but of course then the wind, it's nothing to sneeze at. When you look at some of these wind observations, or at least wind potential, given the radar indication, 60 plus miles per hour in some of these locations here in portions of in Crittenden County, Arkansas. This is north of Marion. This is north of West Memphis. So if you're in West Memphis right now, you're like, okay, you're talking about Crittenden County. I don't see anything right now. Well, that's because the storm is about 15 miles to the north of you. That's where the strongest portion of that storm is currently located at. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll stay with this for just a second. I want to do a storm track specifically on that Boeing segment where we have the strongest winds, right on the leading edge of the winds, and how long that will take for it to get into Shelby County. We'll go out about 35 miles per hour. And again, as we put this storm track on here, understand that this would be the leading, not the leading edge of the rain, but the leading edge of the wind, the strongest wind. Millington, 145, Munford, 155, Atoka, 158, Arlington, 213. The warning goes until 145. So the warning goes all the way basically up to the back doorstep of Millington. So again, I'm telling you, Millington, 145. If that wind stays up like it is, you could very well be dealing with a big wall of wind coming right across Highway 51, across Shelby Forest here as we get closer to 130 and 145. It's not going to take very long for it to cross across the Mississippi River. It seems like a long time when you're driving across the 55 bridge, but it really isn't that long of a drive. So understand, it's going to be very quick to move across the river into northwestern Shelby County, to Shelby Forest, into Millington within the next, say, 20 minutes or so, maybe even a little sooner if you're there on the western side of Millington, getting out towards like Cuba Road and that area there on the western side of Millington. So again, that's what we're looking at. Let's go over to the High Five camera downtown. This is a look from our Best Care Home Services High Five camera. You're looking towards the M Bridge from the Waterford Plaza. You see Mud Island, you see the Mississippi River. Like I said, it's not that big when you really think about it, okay? But of course, it's not going to take very long for that storm to come across. You're looking directly at that storm, okay? Now, granted, you're looking directly at that storm about 15 miles away. And what you can see there in the middle of your screen, you see kind of a lightness there. That is the torrential rain that's coming down, okay? So you see the kind of the light shading there? That is the torrential rain coming down. And that's about to come across the Mississippi River into northwestern portions of Shelby County very shortly. Now, if you're traveling along 40, the M Bridge, or 55, the old bridge. Right now you're fine, but again, I wouldn't advise travel along 51 all the way from the 101 connector all the way up to Millington. I'd say all the way up to really Munford and Atoka at this point, because again, that storm is going to come blowing across that area here very shortly, and I would not be surprised, based off of just history, if we wouldn't have a couple more power outages to come along with that as well. Maggie, you've been tracking this. You're looking at the lightning that is also popping off with that storm there, and I do want to point out the storm that's up in Craighead County that's about to move into Mississippi County, also still showing some signs of large hail as it's moving past Lake City and Caraway. They'll be moving towards Manila and Leachville within the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, I've been looking at this one that Patrick's been timing out, that we're talking about wind pushing into portions of Crittenden County, eventually into portions of northern Shelby County. Talking about lightning, because look, this red box right here is what I have highlighted, the number of lightning strikes we've been seeing. This is just that area that's highlighted, up to really 813, 811 strikes of lightning. So a lot of lightning associated with the storm that's coming through. I'm watching this because if that does trend downward, then we could see maybe not as much intensity with this storm, but as for now, it's up there, it's intensifying. That's why that severe thunderstorm warning has continued to be issued, not only for portions of Cross County as it made its way there, Crittenden County, and now into portions of Shelby County, because we have watched this hang on to its intensity. So that's why we're talking about lightning strikes. Again, Patrick was talking about the wind potential with that. That's what we've really been watching for with this one that's been passing through. But we don't just have this, we have multiple we have to deal with along with that as well. Oh, I do have hail sizes on here. I didn't really mean to go to that, but we're talking about the potential for a quarter and up when we look at severe thunderstorms.
I was going to say, let's actually go look at another hailstorm really quickly. Let's come over the links. I want to show you the storm that's coming through Lee County, Arkansas. We haven't really talked a lot about Lee County. I want to come down here and talk to you guys near Morrow, moving towards Haines and Mariana. It wasn't but a week ago. It was literally a week ago that we were talking about a severe thunderstorm that put down a quarter-inch hail, inch in diameter hail down in this part of the world, crossing State Highway 79, Highway 79. And as well as Highway 1. It's going to be in the exact same area that I talked about literally a week ago on Wednesday when we had the last first alert weather day. So again, that storm is putting down some hail potential there in northern portions of Lee County, Arkansas. If we put a storm track on that, and Maggie mentioned this a couple of minutes ago, you know, it's been relatively untapped in North Mississippi. If you put a storm track on that out towards the east, you know, it's moving at about 30 miles per hour. It's a little slower than the ones down up to the north. That storm could very well make its way across the Mississippi River, getting closer to about an hour from now, so about 125. So moving across into Tunica County here by about 225, but of course also moving into far southern portions of Crittenden County there here shortly. I do want to go back up north again as the next storm is about to come across the Mississippi River here very shortly. Again, that storm is racing to the north and east. That's the storm of note. Again, about to move across Shelby Forest here very shortly. It's bowing out, and that's giving indication of strong wind. We'll put the velocity mode on there again, which way the winds are blowing. Now remember, the radar site is out ahead of it in Millington, so the winds are blowing directly towards Millington. That's where you get the greens, towards Millington, so going from west to east. Now once it goes past Millington, it'll be red going away from it, but needless to say, that is a lot of wind that is about to come through there with a lot of rain as well. Maggie?
Yeah, that's right. And I'm glad you're hitting on that because we've really been talking about hail, as I said before, in that area. Now we're talking about the potential of very strong winds in portions of northern Shelby County. But we're still talking about hail in the areas and portions of eastern Arkansas, really stretching from Cross County up into Craighead County. Very messy. I'm going to show you first alert Doppler radar. It's just messy. Multiple warnings dealing with this system, all for the potential, again, mainly strong winds and also hail. If we do have an RDOT camera to show you, where did you say that that was at?
Gilmore. Okay.
So still seeing lots of rain associated with these showers and storms as well. Take a look at that RDOT camera over in Gilmore, Arkansas. We're still seeing the potential for hail, but you know, another thing to think about is just the, as Patrick would put it, torrential downpours that is associated with these showers and storms as they're coming through. Heavy rainfall, making it very hard to travel.
And they're going to go further downstream with the warning here, deeper into Tipton and Shelby County. So the extension of this warning coming up here very shortly with the winds that are about to come across into Shelby County. New warning coming. I'll give you a first alert to that. We also have Joe Birch here with us, the man, the myth, the legend here this afternoon. He's joining us. Kelly had to go finish up her story. But Joe, have you gotten any reports so far this afternoon as this storm starts to make its way across the Mississippi River?
Well, Patrick and Maggie, we do have a lot of reports of hail in Mason, Tennessee, which, as you know, is in a quirky little corner of Tipton County, and Braden, Tennessee, which is over in Fayette County, east and northeast of Shelby County. And so we've seen sizable hail there. An MLGW map is showing that we have yet to see significant outages. We have the outage map here, and there are fewer than 600 people who are without power right now, but the wind hasn't hit yet. So the thousands of MLGW customers who experience outages with these kinds of storms better brace themselves this afternoon and take care of whatever it is you need to take care of, because there's a chance with winds as strong and this thunderstorm intensifying right now over in eastern Arkansas about to cross the river, that it will be a word to the wise if you're online and do business online and count on the electricity in your house to keep you in business. Take care of what you need to take care of ASAP, because as Patrick and Maggie are about to tell you, the storm, as you can see here, is coming.
Yeah, most definitely, Joe. And of course, we're looking directly into that storm from our Best Care Home Services High 5 camera, downtown Memphis. Again, that is the storm of note. The storm is about to move across into Shelby Forest right now. And again, like Joe mentioned, again, it doesn't take but a sneeze for the power to go out. So, you know, when it comes down to it here very shortly, again, the first storm was hail. The second storm is going to be wind moving across the area. That's going to be moving off towards the north and east here very shortly. And we also have Chief Meteorologist Ron Childers here as well. So as we are looking at the storm moving into the area of southern Tipton into northern portions of Shelby County. Again, Millington, you're next in line. You're the next big town. Of course, moving across the river here very shortly. Very strong wind potential moving in across that area, about 60-mile-per-hour winds. Not out of the realm of possibility. We'll zoom in a little closer. Again, moving across Island 40 right now, so it's moving across the river. So it's moving across the river right now. Which,
warnings up, I was just telling you.
okay, so they just issued that new warning for Fayette, Shelby, and Tipton. Fayette, Shelby, and Tipton. That's going to go until 2:15. And if you've been tracking along with us, that makes sense based off of what we've been tracking here. That storm moving off to the east at about 30. They've actually kicked it up a notch now to 40 miles per hour. Now moving over Shelby Forest. And again, right over the city of Millington here within the next couple of minutes. Millington time right now is actually 1:30. This thing is moving a little quicker than 30 miles an hour. Let me kick this up a notch here. It's moving about 40 at this point because it's on top of you guys here very, very shortly. So let's go 40 miles per hour on this. Again, it's picking up a little speed as it's moving off towards the east this afternoon. And you know, sometimes these things happen. They do move a little quicker. It's still saying 143, but I'll tell you, it's probably going to be a little quicker than that. With the storms actually moving in across your area, I would give it less than 15 minutes. I give it like 10. Moving across 51 there in 385, going across the base. And, of course, also as far north as Munford and Drummond's may catch this, as well as Atoka, as the storm's moving off towards the east. But I think this is going to be far northwestern Shelby. This is going to be all for you guys. We'll see what the Bluff can do at this point. You know, the old thing about the Bluff, for some reason, everybody thinks that the Bluff's going to stop a storm. Of course, we've seen in recent days, weeks, and the last year or so, that is not the case. So, you know, if you think the Bluff's going to stop it, I don't think so. It's blowing your direction and pretty quickly. And again, moving into Millington. I know if you're watching us from downtown Memphis, midtown Memphis, this is not a storm for you. I know if you're watching us in Oxford. You're probably like, get off my television, man. I get it. I understand. But, you know, we have a strong band of storms. This is why we issued the first alert weather day. We were hopeful that maybe the environment would change up a little bit, that this would not occur. But unfortunately, the situation has come to that today, where the storms are happening, and now we have to deal with the consequences of it. And again, that warning goes all the way out until 2:15 now for southern Tipton, northern Shelby, northwestern portions of Fayette County. And we still have the storm down in Lee County. That'll shoot across over towards Tunica County here soon enough. So very close to I-69, Tunica Resorts area, Robinsonville, down towards the south into the city of Tunica here probably within the next 30 minutes or so. Maggie?
Yeah, that's right. And we've been talking about that one that's coming into play into portions of Shelby County. Still seeing a pretty decent wind signature. Kind of have an overall view, or not an overall, but a wider view here. Still seeing, again, those greens and even a little bit closer to a lighter green. That's indicating strong winds still coming into play, about to cross over the river, winds up to 60 miles an hour. And I know we were talking about power outages, and they haven't been too bad so far, but really all we've been dealing with is heavy rain and also the potential for hail. Now we're going to be adding in the potential for some strong winds. So I wouldn't be surprised to see those numbers go up in the next few minutes as that does make its way into portions of Shelby County, as it's doing right now. Again, going to be northern Shelby County. This has been that area that's just continued to get hit over and over again, really stretching from northern portions of 240 all the way up into portions of Millington. That's been that same area that's seeing these strong showers and storms. That's going to be the area that's seeing it yet again right now as it makes its way through, this time for the potential of wind. So that's that one that's we're watching in portions of Shelby County. We do have a few to contend with. Eastern Arkansas still seeing lots of showers and storms, including portions of Lee and Phillips County. And as Patrick mentioned, this is going to be in an area that's been relatively untouched for the day. So Tunica, DeSoto, Tate County, if the shower and storm does continue with its intensity, it's going to be knocking on your doorstep next as it makes its way past really north, or past the Mississippi River into portions of North Mississippi. With this one, we're watching for the potential of wind as well, but also the potential of hail, most likely, as it's making its way through. And we really have been. It's been putting up on the severe thunderstorm warning. They've really said hail up to 1.5 inches with this storm that's been passing through portions, again, of Lee and Phillips County right now. So we're going to continue to watch and monitor that as it does make its way through, again, in portions of eastern Arkansas and then into portions of North Mississippi right now. But overall, seeing the potential of wind and hail, that's the main threats that we're watching from all of these showers and storms pushing through. Lots of lightning associated with this one. I'm going to go ahead and track that out all the way into portions of North Mississippi, because this is your heads up. You haven't seen anything yet today, but if you are in portions of northwest Mississippi, it is going to be making its way into your area really as we head over the next 20 to 30 minutes. Tunica around 1:54 p.m., Banks around 2 o'clock. If this holds over with its intensity, Hernando, DeSoto County, Olive Branch 2:24 p.m. in Hernando, 2:36, and Olive Branch by Byhalia around 2:52 p.m. So if you are in portions of northern and northwest Mississippi, you are not out of the woods with this system coming into play for your area. It's just been taking it a little bit longer, but it's going to be making its way over as we head, again, over the next 30 minutes or so. Main threat we're watching with this one that's coming into Lee and Phillips County is the potential for hail, but that one that's in portions of northern Shelby County, that's what we're watching for, the potential of some strong winds coming into play, and that has been making its way over. Going to go ahead and give you a track with that one as well. Still seeing that Boeing segment, that's indicating strong winds still coming out of the shower and storm. Once again, it's going to be making its way over the Millington radar site and continuing to push east. Here's your track on that. Bartlett around 1:42 p.m. Arlington 2:01 p.m., Covington 2:03 p.m., and portions of Oakland around 2:18 p.m. So again, in those same areas, this time the threat is going to be for strong winds up to 60 miles an hour, and that could be the potential for some power outage issues. So if you are in that area, heads up for you, stay off the roadways, but also be prepared for the potential of power outages. We're going to continue to monitor that and watch the outage map here in Shelby County and bring you the latest information, but just know that there's a potential for that. We do have Chief Meteorologist here now, Ron Childers, in the studio. Ron, anything that you're seeing that's new that we haven't been seeing?
Well, I tell you what, I've seen a lot more 1 o'clock this morning as I stuck around anticipating storm development in the early morning hours. Nothing happened. Patrick and I talked about all of this residual energy that would be in place for storms that develop this afternoon, and that's what we're finding in the area right now, and that's why these are blowing up. And it looks like this is going to stick around for the next few hours. But the good news from this is the fact that it is a wind and hail event for the most part. We're not looking at anything in the way of tornadic development with this. I do want to remind you we have a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect for the entire Action News 5 coverage area. I say entire, a few counties just to the south, Lafayette County, Panola, Quitman, we've got Coahoma and Phillips County not included in that. However, no matter where you are in the Mid-South, you need to be aware that the potential for severe weather could impact you today. Now, this whole line is going to sag south and east before it's all said and done, and that's going to bring in wind, hail, very heavy rain, and the potential for flash flooding to many parts of the Mid-South. I want to take a quick look outside from our High 5 camera. Sam, can you pull that up in Midtown, our Midtown camera? I want to take a look at that because a bit of an ominous scene right now. Things are rather tranquil here in Midtown, but we've got storms just to the west, and once again, we're in a situation where Shelby Forest and Millington are right there in the bullseye for severe weather to come through. And as Maggie was tracking just moments ago, that is making a beeline into that area right now. We just sent Patrick Ellis out in the Comfort Dynamics Storm Tracker. He's going to be bringing us a live report soon. We're going to talk to him, and I do believe he's going to head up to the Millington area and right around Shelby Forest, and we'll be bringing us some images and pictures there. So we're going to be looking for it in just a few minutes. Tell you what, I want to throw it back over to Maggie McCallie. She is at the weather pod right now on our link system. And Maggie, you're taking a look at the overall picture. Let's just kind of give a recap of the warnings we've got going right now, and I'll see you in just a moment. I'm going to jump in front of the weather key.
Yeah, that's right. We have really 3 ongoing warnings that we've been watching. One of those has stretched from Cross County. Now that shower and storm is pushing into portions of Shelby County. So giving you your first alert to 3 different warnings ongoing. Another one pushing into portions of Mississippi County, Arkansas, and then that third one in Lee and Phillips County. Now the Lee and Phillips County one, we're watching for the potential for hail. The one that's trekking into portions of Shelby County, where we're sending Patrick up into the Millington radar site, that one is what we're watching for with wind. And we've really been seeing the same structure from this storm over the past 10-20 minutes or so, where we see that bowing segment coming out indicating very strong winds. And again, that's about to pass over the Millington radar site. So as it does, not going to have a great view of it, but we know right now it's tracking strong winds as it does make its way through. And it's going to continue to track into portions of Tipton, Fayette, and then Haywood County. And those are those same areas where we've been seeing those strong showers and storms over and over again. So that's really the strongest one we're seeing now, Ron, is that one that's pushing into portions of northern Shelby County.
I want to give a first alert to folks that are in Arlington, Mason, Covington, even Munford. Look, if your phone or your tablet's low on juice right now, plug it in, because the potential for power outages is coming. With this wall of wind that's going to be making its way into that area, we can expect the possibility and really the likelihood of power going out for these areas. This again is a look at the big picture. We've got several severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings there. Good news. We've had reports of hail. As a matter of fact, Joe Birch has been bringing us those. And Joe's standing by on the news desk. Joe, if you see any information that you believe is pertinent, feel free to break in and just jump right in and join the conversation with us. In the meantime, let's put some tracks on these storms, show you where they are, show you where they're going. First of all, a loop of the entire system as it's really just starting to blossom and mature. So we saw this start to develop right around 11 o'clock this morning. This is the firing line along and north of the 40 corridor, but there's still a tremendous amount of energy that is in place. If you spend any time outdoors, you know that it is warm and it is muggy. So as these storms move into this portion of the coverage area, that's when we're likely going to see these intensify once again. Now, wind and hail, the main threats with this. Let me clear this off and let's take a look at some of those hail tracks just from the big picture. Look at this little area right here. Absolutely amazing. We were getting radar indications of hail 1.5 inches in size. Last night, there were a couple of storms that were making their way into Cross County showing indications of 2-inch size hail. So really hail and wind, the main threats with these storms. So let's zoom in just a bit. Let's put a track on it and show you where this is going. First of all, I want to start with the radar itself. I'm going to back this up just a little bit. And by the way, a lot of lightning in here. So we're also looking at not only the potential for wind taking out power, but the lightning itself could take out power. As a matter of fact, just within these couple of polygons right here, look at this. 492 strikes of lightning, almost 500 strikes of lightning. You get back here around Harrisburg, we've got lightning strikes in that area. Let me pan back just a little bit. Let's drop this down because that's another monster storm. I'm going to put a track on that in just a moment, but let's bring you up to speed on how much lightning that is producing. 241 strikes of lightning just within that view. As we go back to the home view here, let's track this storm that's now moving on through northern Shelby and southern Tipton County. Here's a track. These storms moving at about 35, 40 miles per hour. Maggie, was that the last speed we had on these, about 40, 45 miles per hour? All right, so with that in mind, Raleigh, 144. We're going to see that get into Memphis, 152. That's when we say Memphis inside the 240 loop. So we're already seeing rain making its way across the Mississippi River, but it will likely impact the Memphis metro, or at least the northern portion of the 240 loop, right around 152. Then Lakeland, 204. 221 into Fisherville, Oakland, 228. Then that's going to continue to make its way east into Dancyville, Summerville, and Whiteville between now and about 2:59, so just before 3 o'clock. So we've got at least another hour to go with just this cell itself. Now let's shift south because we've got another severe thunderstorm warning right here and a pretty ominous looking little cell itself. Let me give you the info on this one. This severe thunderstorm warning is going to go, well, now we're looking at lightning strikes there. Here we go. This severe thunderstorm warning for Lee County, that's going to go until 1:45 this afternoon. So as I clear this off of here, let's put a track on this as well. And I'm going to track it from the leading edge of the heavier precipitation and where we're likely to find the gusting wind. And this is kind of making a little bit of a movement to the south and east. So here we go. Hughes, 149. Commerce, 159. Then we'll see it get into Tunica about 205. Oh, it's going to make its way into Banks at 212. 221 into Walls, 235 into Hernando. Snowden Grove, 242. Olive Branch, 253. Let this be your warning and your first alert to start charging your mobile devices. Make any precautions you may need right now in the event of power going out. And by the way, if you have any patio furniture that is out or anything that is susceptible to flying in a high wind, I want you to secure it right now and take a little time to do just that. So these communities, these are the times you have. I see a new warning that was just issued moments ago. Let's check this out as I was speaking. This warning now for Lee, Phillips, St. Francis, that's going to go until 2:30 this afternoon. Let's reset the picture here, show you one more time the big scheme of things. And I want to take a look at our northern counties because we've got a lot of activity, especially right here around northwest Tennessee. We're not talking much about Dyer, Lauderdale County right now, but you've got some pretty good storms that are bearing down on you and coming your way. And as a matter of fact, just to the west of the Mississippi River, a severe thunderstorm warning there for Craighead, Lauderdale, Mississippi, and Poinsett County. That's going to expire in about 15 minutes at 2 o'clock. But that cell itself also making a push to the east. Let's put this into motion. I'm going to zoom into that little area right there so you can get a better view on that cluster of storms as it moves off to the east. That wants to give me an arrow. Here we go. Let's try to zoom it in a little bit. I want to talk to our friends in Lauderdale and Dyer County right now. Getting some pretty good downpours developing right there in Dyersburg and around Dyersburg. As a matter of fact, rainfall coming down at just over 1.5 inches per hour. Now we've got heavy rain to the west of the river making its way through Mississippi County, 2.7 8 inches per hour, but I'd be willing to bet that's skewed a little bit by hail. And as we take a look, yeah, there's a pretty significant hail core, and it was really popping right around Jonesboro. Look at that monster. That's almost softball-sized hail indications on the radar right around Jonesboro area. So we can bet that that is moving on through northern Mississippi County right now, and that's going to make its way across the river. I do believe that's going to hold together. With that in mind, not the rainfall rate, let's put a track on this line and give you an idea where this is going to go. And I tell you what, I'll track it from this portion right here, and then there's another view that I want to take of that line that's coming in. We're going to get a double whammy, Maggie, I think right around Shelby County, because that little line back there is bowing in behind it. So right now, 153, you're going to have storms, heavy rain, gusty wind, and hail coming into Barr, 153, 202 into Luxora. Then we'll see it get into Ashport at about 208, 228 into Gates, Ripley, 234. Then Maury City, 248, 250 into Brazil, and 302 into Alamo. Now, let's track this other portion right there. Do you see that little bowing segment right there? As a matter of fact, you'll probably get a better view of it on the velocity. Wow, that is monstrous right there. That is a heck of a wind that is coming through that area. Let's see if I can even query some of the info. Just to the west of Osceola, indications of 50+ mile-an-hour winds with that. So let's track it from the leading edge of that heavier wind gust. So you're going to see some of these communities pop up once again. So here we go. Kaiser, 149, Osceola, 158, then Ashport, 214, Gilt Edge, we're tracking wind, just the wind itself, all right? Then Covington, right around 243 into Tipton County and Covington, Tabernacle, 255, 304 into Oakview, and 314 into Brownsville. So that is the strongest wind. And just taking a look at the big picture here, let me zoom out just a little bit. It looks like that is the most concentrated area of the strongest wind, although for some reason it won't let me zoom out. There we go. That is the most concentrated area of the strongest wind with all the storms that are working their way through the Mid-South right now. But we've also got to keep in mind we're getting a little attenuation. In other words, the strong storm is right on top of the radar site in Millington. So it can't really look straight up. It is kind of looking out and then going up a little higher in the atmosphere as the farther away it gets from the radar site itself. But this gives you an indication. We've got two areas of wind, one right there around northeastern Arkansas, moving through Mississippi County right now, another one coming into Shelby County. This one's going to clip southeastern Tipton County and then make its way into Haywood and really just kind of ride along and north of the 40 corridor. Maggie, you've got a great view of it right there on the link system. What are you looking at?
Yeah, portions of Mississippi County. I think when these first started firing up and starting these showers and storms, we were mainly tracking the potential for hail, and now we're really tracking the potential for wind out of these severe thunderstorm warnings. You can see it in Mississippi County. If we actually take this behind me full screen, there you go. Two different warnings coming out, but strong winds. That's that green color you're seeing. So right now we're taking a look at winds coming towards and away from the radar. That green is winds towards the radar, and again, the lighter green that turns, the stronger the winds that we're seeing. So this is indicating winds up to 57 miles an hour on our system. This was issued because we could see winds up to 60 miles an hour as it comes through, and again, pushing through portions of Mississippi County right now from really Loudoun down to Kaiser, but it's going to be making its way heads up for areas that are along the Mississippi River from Mississippi to Lauderdale, Tipton County. This is making its way across again towards your area as we head over the next few minutes. So Osceola, Luxora, into Butler, Ashport, across into Tennessee, Detroit, areas like that are going to be seeing this. If this holds together and continues to show a wind signature like this, those are the areas that are going to be downstream of that, again, crossing over the Mississippi River right now. And I think right now, Ron, that's really looking stronger than the one that was in Shelby County, which that one is passing over the Millington radar site. So we're going to continue to watch it, not getting the best picture of it. But right now, that one is really intensifying. And that's why we're seeing not one, but two severe thunderstorm warnings from that system pushing through.
And let me point out a little something here too, Maggie. As a matter of fact, come back to me, Sam. I want to show something here. Let me, and Maggie, can you go back to your velocity view on that really quick? Because I want to point out something right here. We're going to draw right here. You see this, when we talk about a bow echo, that's what this is. And look, here's why. Notice that little line right there? It just kind of bows. There's a bowing segment. So we've got air that's coming from the upper levels of that storm, and it's just kind of pushing out the back. And what it does is it forces that middle portion of the storm to have the strongest wind. So right there is where you're going to find the potential for straight line wind damage. You get a wind like that coming through, and right now, what are we getting? I can't give you indications of wind speed, but I think you were showing 50+ mile-an-hour winds with this, Maggie.
Yeah, that's right.
You get a sudden gust of that, that'll take a tree down quickly, and those trees in turn going to take down power lines. I want to show Patrick is headed north into that area. He is a daredevil indeed, and he's in our Comfort Dynamics storm tracker, making his way north towards Millington and the Shelby Forest area. I'm not sure if we can talk to him just yet. We'll see if we can work out communications there. What I want to do right now is take a look at our power outage map. Do we have the MLGW power outage map? And Melissa, I'd also like to have the Entergy. Or Ashley, excuse me, I want to, I'll say, okay, let's do it. We're going to do MLGW and then take a look at that. And if we have energy for Eastern Arkansas, I want to see what these, what this system has had a history of doing thus far. By the way, looks like we got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Has that been, have they expanded that? Let me give you a little info on this. Here we go, right there. We're looking at, that's going to go until 2:15. Wow. And look, it looks like there's a little hail core in there. Let me come back to that. By the way, look at all the lightning. Is that not something? I mean, when you go back and you take a look at just the tremendous amount of lightning, just on this view right here, we've got over 2,000 strikes of lightning. Now, on average, lightning strikes the earth about 30,000 times a day. All over the globe, you're going to get about 30,000 strikes of lightning. We have seen storm systems move through the Mid-South, producing 25 to 30,000 lightning strikes alone. So right now, we're looking at about close to 2,400 lightning strikes there just on that view. The most intense coming on through Memphis and Shelby County, where we now have a brand new warning. This is going to go until 2:15. Did they extend that? I'm losing track a little bit of the timing on this, but Fayette, Shelby, Tipton,
yeah, they continued
that is going to go until 2:15. So they've now continued that warning. So let's zoom in just a little closer on that, because I want to give folks a first alert in Fayette County, Haywood County on where this is going to go, because this will impact you. So we're going to track it from the leading edge of the heavier precipitation, all right? So you're going to start off with a little bit of light rain, but by 2 o'clock, Covington is going to be coming down hard, and you're going to get a sudden gust of wind. So take time right now, plug your mobile devices in, and by the way, get the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. You've got a few minutes to do it. Go to your app store, download it. It's for Apple and Android products. If you lose power, you'll be able to continue to watch our live stream right there on your app. You're also going to get your first alert to any additional warnings that may be issued, and you'll have the interactive radar. You can follow along right there yourself. So get the apps, the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. Maggie, don't change that view. We're coming to you in just a second. 2:05, that's going to move into Lakeland. Cordova, 2:24. Oakland, 2:33. Then 2:38 into Brownsville, 2:50 into Summerville, 3 o'clock into Whiteville, and then 3:21, that's going to move into Jackson. So all of these communities, take some time right now, get ready for the potential for power outage. As I promised, I want to show you the MLGW power outage map quickly. Then Maggie McCallie, we're coming to you for a look at this three-dimensional image you've got. So Ashley, can we pop that up, show you the MLGW outage map? Not a big problem right now. We're in pretty good shape. What do we got? 21 outages impacting 412 customers. I have a feeling in the next hour that's going to be much different. Now, let's take a look at the Entergy map. Do we have that one available to us? And check out northeastern Arkansas, see what power outages are like in those areas. Okay, so we do have power outages, confirmed power outages in Marianna, Arkansas right now. You can see those areas highlighted in red. A lot of heavy rain, wind moved through there, and hail has also been a big factor with these storms. And let me throw it over to Maggie McCallie, because she's got a view of the hail right now. You got to see this. Maggie, what are you looking at?
I want to talk about the storm, or the severe thunderstorm warning that's in Lee and Phillips County, Arkansas. The other two, we're really watching for the potential of wind. This one, we've been watching for the potential of hail. So we can pull this full screen, taking a look at this. Again, this is in portions of Lee and Phillips County. It's in portions of north of West Helena, north of Marvel. I'm taking a look. You might not know what you're looking at here. Just some really looks like fields of red. Well, the further that's extended, this is showing the height of the storm. And the further it is, the more we can see a hail core, the more that storm can loft hail up into the atmosphere and it can grow. So we're watching it. That's why we look at 3D radar within the system that we have over here. It allows us to be able to see that. But again, we're going to continue to watch the tops of these storms to see how high they get, and then eventually if that does turn into hail coming on the ground. But this is in portions, again, leave Phillips County. This eventually is going to be passing over the river as well. Also have this to look at, hail tracker within our system over here, passing through Marietta, Arkansas. So this is going to be passing from Lee Phillips County into portions of Tunica, eventually into DeSoto County, which yet again is an area that has been untouched so far. So taking a look at this, again, our hail tracker over here is indicating small hail with this system as it pushes through, which is the reason it does have that severe thunderstorm warning on it as well, up to quarter size hail. So that can do some damage as well. That's what we've been watching for that system pushing through in Lee and Phillips County. But then we have two other severe thunderstorm warnings that we're watching, one in Shelby County and the other over in Mississippi County due to wind. So any updates with either of those, Ron?
Maggie, let me show you some video. The wind that came through the Jonesboro area, that area you were talking about. Let's roll that video and show folks what it looked like as that storm was moving on through. Check this out. So folks that are in Haywood County, Fayette County, Lauderdale County, you can expect something similar to this, all right? That is not tornado. That is straight line wind, and look at the hail coming down. Looks like ping pong ball size hail that's associated with this. That's larger than quarter size hail, certainly larger than quarter size hail. I believe that was likely captured. Do we know where, was that from a Ring camera, Anna, or was that from just a brave viewer grabbing some video? Look at the debris flying through the air.
I'll tell you what, Ron,
Wow.
we've got some more video.
Let's see it, Joe.
That we'd like to share with our audience. And if we could ask Anna and our team to prepare one of the videos from Richard. All right, Fayette County hail. This is hail out of Fayette County.
Oh.
Actually, I think this is Mason, Tennessee. This is Richard Thompson's video. Now this is his front yard, and you can in Braden, Tennessee, and you can see some significant hail there. If you look very closely against the backdrop of that black truck, you can see how heavy the storm is pounding there. And then there's another video, I believe, of his backyard with the swimming pool. Have we previewed that yet? I've seen it online via email. And this, I believe this is it. Yes, I believe this might be the video. It's just really
I think that's
impressive.
the one we were showing from Jonesboro, Joe.
Okay,
That was
all
it.
right.
And
That's
look
a
at
good
how
one.
the hail is taken out.
There it is.
There it is. That's the one you were talking about.
This is the one I wanted to share. This is out of Braden, Tennessee, from Richard Thompson. We want to thank him for sending this via desk@wmctv.com. Look at that. Look at the intensity of this storm here. Now, this is Braden, Tennessee. This is Fayette County. So this is east of us. And this is a band of rain and hail that came through, Ron, about an hour ago. So this is a little earlier in the day, but this gives our viewers a sense of what we can expect tonight and the intensifying storm that's brewing over in Crittenden County and eastern Arkansas that's crossing the river right now. This is what we need to strap in for and be prepared for as it's headed our way here in Memphis and Shelby County. Guys?
I have a feeling later in the week there are going to be a whole bunch of dent and ding sales at car dealerships around the area because there was some big hail with those storms coming on through. So first alert to folks right now in Haywood County, in Lauderdale County, also down in Fayette County, Hardeman County, even DeSoto County. You've got time right now to get your vehicle under shelter. So if your car is parked outdoors and you've got some shelter, some cover for that, I encourage you to take a moment right now and go move that car and get it under shelter because some big hail's coming through. And as a matter of fact, Maggie McCallie has got a great look at it right now. Maggie, you want to talk about what you're showing?
Yeah, that's right. Look our hail tracker, and you can see it in portions of eastern Arkansas. That's why Ron has been talking about, hey, go get your car under a shelter. I think maybe some insurance claims are going to be happening as well, Ron, from cars. But anyway, this is what we're looking at, portions of Lee County. Our system picking up some hail tracking within that storm as well. That's going to be pushing over the river again in Tunica, eventually into portions of Tate and DeSoto County. So your first alert, if you are in portions of Tunica County, Tate County, and then really southern or central portions of DeSoto County, this system is going to be making its way into your area. And if it sticks with the intensity it is now, you could be seeing some hail as well. Also, we saw a lot of hail pass through in portions of western Tennessee as well. That system that passed through that we saw all those videos from, our system also picked that up around 1:11, even into 1:15 p.m. So yeah, around an hour ago, a little bit, 45 minutes ago, we saw that pass through. Our system picked that up. It's picking it up now, so it's doing a pretty good job of showing that hail and where it's tracking over really the next few hours.
Yeah, great job indeed. As a matter of fact, just moments ago, the National Weather Service issued a statement that the storm relative helicity is dropping on these storms. What does that mean? Well, the tornado threat may be enhancing with these storms. Some of these cells are trying to rotate. And as Maggie mentioned, we've got a juicy environment that's in place really along and south of the 40 corridor, northeast Mississippi, really all of northern Mississippi, and parts of West Tennessee, especially from Fayette, Hardeman, and McNairy County. So we want to just make you aware and give you your first alert that this could possibly transition into a tornado threat. Right now, it is a wind and a hail threat. Let me outline the warnings that we've got going right now. We've got a flood warning right there around Jonesboro. Then just to the east of that, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Mississippi, Tipton, Lauderdale County. That's going to go until 2:45. Just to the south of that, we've got another severe thunderstorm warning, Fayette, Shelby, Tipton County. That's going to go until 2:15. And then just to the south of that, this one's coming out of eastern Arkansas. This is for Lee, Phillips, St. Francis, and Tunica County. That is going to go until 2:30 this afternoon. So we've got a lot of activity going on in and around the area. Right now, the main focus of storms, northeastern Arkansas, West Tennessee, along and just to the east of the Mississippi River. But this little complex south of the 40 corridor right here, coming out of eastern Arkansas, that's going to be impacting Tunica and DeSoto counties in just a moment. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and zoom in on these areas and let's give you an idea of who this is going to be impacting and what we're going to be looking at here. Let me put a track on this. I'm going to track it on through DeSoto County, all right? So that'll get into West Helena at about 2:11. Helena at 2:19, then into Horn Lake. That will move in at about 2:36. Hernando 2:44. Then we're looking at it moving into Olive Branch about 2:54, 3:06 into Senatobia, 3:24 into Barr, and 3:27 into Aiken. So North Mississippi, there's your first alert on this complex, this storm system, where it's going and what it's producing. Let's give you an idea of the lightning just within that cell. 484 strikes of lightning just within that view. As we take a look at the velocity associated with that, some pretty strong wind, not as impressive as what we were seeing just to the north, especially around northeastern Arkansas. There has been some hail, indication of hail within that itself. And look at this, right there south of Forest City, right there around Lee County. Wow, that is coming down. That's about 2-inch size hail. Tell you what, let's put a little slice on that and give you an idea. Oh, Maggie, the tops on these storms coming in at about 40,000 feet. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, there's some definitely very heavy rain in there, but there's also looks like an elevated hail core within that, but I'm not sure if it's reaching the surface at this time. All right, so that's the big picture right there. We're going back. Patrick is on the road right now on our Comfort Dynamics storm tracker. Let's take a live view from him. Where is he right now? Do we know? Okay, so that's Canada Road. Storm's coming in. You see some scud clouds in there. Those are those clouds just kind of dropping. You've got the downdrafts coming with that, so it's bringing down a little moisture with it, and that's what's making it. That's not a tornado. You see that little, you see what looks like maybe a little funnel there? That is not, but that is a little downdraft associated with that. But as the National Weather Service was indicating in their radar analysis, they're looking at some of these storms trying to rotate right now. So that is a look at the sky from Canada Road, right there at Canada Road and 40. Is that where we said he was? Okay, good deal. So that's what we have going there. Right now, as we go back to our first alert Doppler radar, a lot of activity, a lot of lightning, and this storm system continues to make its move to the east and really starting to just kind of become a little more linear right here. So this is going to be an area that we're going to watch for the potential for maybe a couple little spin ups. We've also got this little Boeing segment right here. It's now making its way into Tipton County. That's going to move on into Haywood County in the next couple of minutes. Let's put a track on that, show you where it is going. Here we go. Now I'm going to track this. Wow, look at that Boeing segment right there. That extends from Tipton County all the way into Shelby County. We're going to track that off to the east. Arlington, 211. That's going to be moving into your area. I'm tracking this based on a 40-mile-an-hour speed. Maggie, has anything changed on that? Still moving about 40 to 45, I believe?
Yeah, this one said moving east at 30.
Okay.
So still around the
All
same.
right, so I'm maybe a few minutes ahead. I'm tracking it at 40, but it gives you a little extra time to prepare, all right? So here's your first alert, Mason, 215, Hickory With, 223, 238 into Brownsville, Fayette Corners, 246, may move in there about 256, but nonetheless, right around 245 or so, you're going to start to feel the impacts of this as it's coming on through. Likely starting out with some light rain to begin with. You're going to see the wind gradually increase until you get a sudden gust, then the heavier rain and the hail coming in behind it. That'll move into Whiteville at 255, 301 into Huntersville, and then 311 into Tune. Flooding has also been an issue with these as they're dropping a tremendous amount of rainfall. We're seeing another flood warning here. That is for Crittenden, Cross, Mississippi, and Poinsett County. That's going to go until 5:15. So there could be flooding on roadways, and especially in any areas that may be prone to flooding. We've had a lot of rain that has come through that area in a short period of time, so flooding is certainly possible there. Let me show you our high five camera in Midtown. Let's take a look outside. Wow, oh, is this downtown? This is our downtown camera. It is kind of tough to see the mighty Mississippi River there, and we are looking toward the 55 bridge. That is a rain-covered lens on that camera. And a lot of rain indeed. As a matter of fact, Maggie McCallie, you're taking a look at the 3-hour rain totals. What are we looking at so far?
Yeah, I want to go ahead and pull this up where we're seeing that flood concern, and that is in portions of eastern Arkansas from Poinsett County into Cross and Crittenden County right now. That's where we're watching that flash flood warning. That's that box in green. You can see another one coming in the portions of Craighead County and Jonesboro. That's right outside of the Mid-South coverage area. But I'm showing, you can see where it says 3 inches, 2 inches. This area that saw that heavy storm come through, or multiple, could have picked up anywhere between 2 to 3 inches. So that does lead to localized flooding concerns. If you have poor drainage in your yard or on your roadways, that could lead to some issues, especially today. But not only today, Ron, this isn't the only day we're going to be seeing rain.
Yeah, right.
So we're going to be seeing multiple rounds throughout the week. So how much you pick up today is just going to be in addition to what you're going to see over the next few days. So just your first alert to make sure if you see roadways that are covered in water, there's always the saying, turn around, don't drown. Be careful as you're headed out on the roadways, not only today, but even as we head throughout Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, and you know, this has been a very difficult pattern to forecast, Maggie. As a matter of fact, yesterday, the high resolution models, these are the models that are really within about a 36 to 48 hour time period. They are really able to hone in on the atmosphere, give us a better idea, a clearer picture of what will transpire. Yesterday, we were looking at, and as a matter of fact, when we were with you on Action News 5 at 5, 6, and even 10, we were talking about the likelihood of 3 rounds of storms. Storm round last night died, fizzled, nothing happened. Then forecast models indicating a line similar to this coming through later in the afternoon, and then another one to follow it in the evening. Well, now it moved in sooner simply because those disturbances that did not materialize overnight and early this morning got a little earlier jump on the day today, and that's what we're dealing with right now. But here's the good news with this. I think we're going to get this in here and we'll get it out of here this evening. And so we're only now looking at one round of storms, but this is it. This is the big show. This is the dance that's coming on through the Mid-South right now. And just take a look at the tremendous amount of lightning that continues to fire up with these storms. Let's just give you an idea once again, get a little lightning strike count. We can always tell whether when we see this number going up, that means those storms are intensifying. And right now we're at 2,689 strikes on this view. That is up from the 2,300 strikes we were showing just a few minutes ago. If that lightning strike counts or count lowers, that's an indication the storms are weakening. But right now, we're starting to see them pulse up. And I want to take a look at the hail associated with these because I think we're going to identify, several distinct areas of large hail. Right now, right there around Lee County, we've got this area right here that's coming out of Cross County, northern Crittenden County, and that's going to be moving into Tipton and Fayette counties. Then we got this little area that's back here. So really about 3 or 4 areas. There's a smaller one in behind that, but we're looking at about 4 areas of hail, and then this whole thing is going to make a march to the east. There's nothing there to weaken it, and right here, we've got an untouched atmosphere that's just full of energy and juice, and that's going to give these storms the potential to enhance even further. I want to show you outside from our High 5 camera in Midtown. I can hear it coming down on the roof here at 1960 Union Avenue. Take a look. We are looking to the west toward downtown Memphis. That's Union Avenue there just on the left side of your screen. Right now we're just dealing with rain. We haven't had the gusty wind. Maggie, are you seeing any hail with this as that's making its way across the river and starting to move now on into the city of Memphis and Shelby County?
Yeah, and this is really the first storm we've seen make its way all the way into the metro, Ron. I mean, most of those showers and storms have been passing north of the 240 loop. So if you live south of the 240 loop and maybe into portions of southern Shelby County, closer to DeSoto County, this is probably the first time you've seen these stronger showers and storms. So I want to show you the one we're looking at right now. It's passing into the 240 loop. This one has the potential of containing some hail as well. Taking a look at our hail tracker, seeing that pulse up a little bit as that's making its way into 240. Again, no severe thunder, or I think they might be issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for this one, trying to read and do this at the same time. But overall, still seeing up to quarter size hail, dime size hail with this pushing through. Again, this is our hail tracker. It's just showing the potential for that as it makes its way through. So we were dealing with wind, still seeing some breezy conditions and probably heavy rainfall. But this one that's coming through Shelby County right now in the central and southern portions of the county also has the potential to be putting down some small hail as it makes its way through as well. So we're going to continue to watch that and monitor that one, see if they put a severe thunderstorm warning with that as it pushes through as well, Ron, because it's
Maggie,
pulsing up.
Let me show you some video. We got this from our first responders at Firehouse 49. Check this out of some hail. Shot a little video there. Where is Firehouse 49? That's northeast Shelby or northwest Shelby County, am I right?
It's on New Allen Road, Ron.
Yeah.
4300 block of New Allen.
Yeah, so this comes from our firefighters at that station. The hail coming down, the heavy rain. That was that portion of the storm that we were tracking earlier. By the way, that's the portion of the storm we sent Patrick into. Right. He's coming in behind it. He should be able to give us some good video of that within the next few minutes or so. But some small hail coming down there. Looks like mainly rain. The wind doesn't look, just looking in the distance, doesn't look that bad, but that may have been the leading edge of it. So that's from Firehouse 49. Thank you to the men and women there. We appreciate all you do for us, and we especially appreciate you for taking time to send us that video. By the way, if you have the Action News 5 First Alert weather app and hail or any storm damage has come through, there is an area at the bottom of the app. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see Submit Photos. You can do it right there. You can submit photos and video. That gives us permission to use it on the air. So anything that you're seeing that you can report back to us, we certainly appreciate. That gives us ground confirmation. That also gives us an idea of the impact of these storms as they're moving on through specific areas. So let's get right to it right now. Let's put some tracks on these storms. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. We're going to start off with our counties just to the north because these are now making their way across the Mississippi River. Let's check in on folks that are around Dyer, Lauderdale County. this is a lot of activity in this area right here. It's almost very difficult to just kind of even judge where this is going to impact and go, but let's put it into motion, because you see all that just starting to congeal right there? That's becoming a little more linear. We're starting to see a little bit of a bowing segment right there. So let's put a track on that and give you an idea of where that's going to go within the next few minutes. Looks like it was also trying to take more of an east-northeast track with it. Let me come on through all the way to here. There we go. Oh, save that camera shot. I'm coming back to that in just a moment. Ripley, 221, Nutbush. I just saw something on one of the other monitors. 228, this is going to move into Nutbush. Then 235 into Gates. Belle Eagle, 243, 248 into Maury City, 254 into Alamo. Then Brazil, 306. 312 into Humboldt. Let me show you that camera. Maggie, can you pop that camera view back on? Was that on your system?
Yeah, pop up mid. They have it though, Midtown.
Yeah, let's take a look at that Midtown camera side, because the rain is really starting to intensify, and I think I see some hail with that too. Yeah, there's a little small hail coming on through there. As a matter of fact, Adam Chrysler is at street level, live here at 1960 Union Avenue. I think he drew the short straw today, but he's got a live view. Let's see if we can, oh yeah, this is right out in front of the television station at 1960 Union Avenue, the flag whipping in the wind and the rain there. Does Adam have any report of hail? Can he see any hail on the ground, or is it just rainfall? Let's find out.
And they did put a severe thunderstorm warning on that storm that's coming through.
Okay. Jack Morris Auto Glass right there across the street, Panera Bread as well. Right there, that is, you're looking at traffic moving east and westbound on Union Avenue. No hail, just rain, very heavy rain. But I tell you what, it looked like there was some hail coming down. Now that was 200 feet up, and a lot can happen, believe it or not, just in 200 feet. So, oh, and you can see some of the waves the cars are making. So we're starting to see that water gathering on Union Avenue right now. That's going to make driving treacherous. By the way, if you're at home and you had planned to head out over the next few minutes, I want you to stay where you are, all right? Just let this pass through. Let me take you back, show you the big picture here, okay? So if you are right around the Memphis, Shelby County area, if you're in Lauderdale, Tipton County especially, I want you to just stay where you are. Let this band pass, all right? If you're out in advance of this, if you're in Haywood County, northeastern Fayette, northwestern Hardeman County, if you can get where you need to be within the next 10 to 15 minutes, go ahead and do it. But otherwise, just hunker down, ride this out. This whole segment is really starting to come together right now. I'm going to go to Patrick in just a moment. Do we have audio from Patrick? Ashley, okay, so we can't hear Patrick, but we'll be able to see where he is. First alert right now to this just shield of wind, heavy rain, and lightning. Somerville 231, Brownsville 235, Bolivar 302. That's going to get into Jackson, Tennessee at 312, Milan 329. It continues on through Lexington at 348, Morris Chapel 4 o'clock, and then 428 into Clifton. This little cell right here, that's starting to show a little more intensity. I'm going to track that on through northern Mississippi. So we're tracking this area right here, all right? So that is this cell. Severe thunderstorm warning for that. Helena 231, Horn Lake 246. I do anticipate severe thunderstorm warnings to be issued for northwestern Mississippi within the next few minutes. Hernando 258, 317 into Senatobia, Aiken 338, Holly Springs 351, 311 into Ashland, and 329 into Walnut. So that's what we're looking at. Once again, here is the big picture. Patrick Ellis is in the Comfort Dynamics Storm Tracker. Let's take a live view of that. Wow, can you see that clearing? You see this, Maggie? Mm-hmm. Something else. Ominous clouds, that cloud deck is also lowering. That's not a good sign, all right? So the lower that cloud, that lifted condensation level, as we call it, the lower that is to the surface, the more possible, or the increased possibility we could get a little spin up. So we're going to watch this closely. Right now, looks pretty ominous. Looks like Patrick's in a safe location. And by the way, Patrick is a skilled, seasoned meteorologist. He spent many years tracking storms in central Mississippi, some of the most devastating storms to come through there. So he knows how to approach a storm, from what angle, when to move in, and most importantly, when to move out. So right now he's at 240 and 69. That's his view live, right? I-40 and 69, 269.
And Ron, we were talking about the clouds early this morning when I came in with Patrick, and we saw that round that didn't happen. And then the clouds were pretty high up early this morning, so they have made their way down. That is concerning, allowing for these storms to pulse up, but also allowing for that potential of rotation to occur too.
Yeah, so the surface winds come into a bit more play there, as opposed to the upper level winds that drive it. So we have a decent south wind. And Maggie, what were the winds at the top of the hour? Do we have any indication? They were about, I was thinking about 10 to 15 miles per hour, right?
The top of the hour?
Yeah.
Let me look.
So, and then we've got the upper level winds that are just kind of driving this to the east. So when
10 to
all of
15.
these converge, what were they?
10 to 15.
10 to 15. All right, so when all this converges, it can allow some of this to get a little cyclonic rotation to it, especially there along the leading edge. So we're going to watch this very, very closely. Getting reports of pea-sized hail in Fraser right now as we take a look at the big picture on the hail here. And yeah, there is, this is where it was just a few minutes ago. Let me zoom in on that and show you what was going on there. As this was exiting Crittenden County, and look, that's the area I do believe. Even came into the downtown area right there. This is the section that likely impacted Fraser, dropping some hail there. Look at that. At one point, almost 2 inches in size. That's like golf ball to baseball size hail. Then, right here, just to the west of Memphis, just over 1.25 inches, just about 1.25 inches in size. So we've got some decent hail with this. That's also translating into some serious wind. You can even see a bit of a bowing segment here. One of the things to keep in mind is that hail core is coming down. It's also bringing air down to the surface with it. And as that air hits the ground, it's going to spread out, and that can create problems with power. It's basically a straight line wind just coming on through. But now we have to watch very closely for the potential for any rotation within the main line itself. So right now, I'm going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to pan this over just a little bit. Forgive me, because we're doing live radar analysis right now on the air here. A couple of areas I want to watch, and let me outline it for you. Right there around Lakeland. Do you see that? Let's put the scope on there and let's see if there's any rotation within that. And I'll talk more about what I'm looking at. So the red, that is wind that is moving away from the radar. The green is moving toward the radar. So these are winds that are moving. The green is going this way, the red is going this way, and then we can see little areas where it may create just a little bit of rotation. There's a little broad scale rotation right there. And by the way, right here, this is where we could find the potential for the strong straight line winds that come out, and that can do some serious damage. It's basically just a wall of wind that comes on down, but it's little areas of potential rotation that we want to watch closely. Don't see much there. Spectrum width, this is gives us an idea of turbulence within the atmosphere. That leading edge, that's where you see the majority of it right there. So then, and by the way, the spectrum width, that's just cold air sinking, warm air rising. Very warm, very muggy outside. So that warm air coming in on the leading edge, and what goes up must come down, so the cold air is coming down behind it, but it can get so close together that it's all happening within a very close range and proximity of each other. So you can get that turbulence. If you've ever been in an airplane flying and it gets a little bumpy, that is that cold air sinking, warm air rising in a very small area or over a very part of space and time. So that's what we're looking at there. Now, let me zoom out one more time. Take a look at the big picture here. These storms still really starting to make a move to the east, and this is going to push on through within the next few minutes as that comes into continues across West Tennessee. And there's really somewhat of a dividing line, because I think there's a little bit of a lull in the activity here. It's just going to be interesting to see if this line kind of meets up with what's trying to develop down here and even becoming a little more linear just to the south and west of that. This, I do believe, is going to be impacting North Mississippi within the next few minutes. Maggie, you're looking at rainfall rates, and there's been a lot of it out there. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, especially that storm that's coming through in portions of Shelby County right now. I'm looking at the rain rate when it came through Crittenden County because we're getting reports of potential flooding just off the interstate there. I want to show that in just a minute, but I want to show you the rain rate. So this is at 1:54 p.m. It's currently 2:25. Watch those pinks as it makes its way through, really dumping a lot of rain in portions of Crittenden County, West Memphis as it makes its way into portions of Shelby County, coming downtown as well. So that's where we're dealing with it right now. I want to go ahead and show what we're looking at, though, the potential flooding video in Crittenden County. Yeah, you can see that. So this is Marion, Arkansas. Watch as people are getting on the interstate.
Wow.
I mean, they are having to slow down, whether they choose to get on the interstate or go ahead straight, but really slow down. The water is going to make them slow down either way. But that's what we're talking about, these flooding concerns, because that's already happening. And we're looking at still showers and storms coming through these same areas, but also the potential for more to come mid to late week. So that's Marion, Arkansas. Shower storms still coming down. They do have the potential to cause some localized flooding concerns. So it's 2:30 right now. People get off work in the next few hours. You're going to want to be careful. Take it slow as you're headed out on the roadways, no matter where you are in the Mid-South, but especially Crittenden County, Western Tennessee. It was really Crittenden County, Ron, to northern Shelby County, passing into portions of Tipton and Lauderdale County. That's where we've seen that main area just get a lot of rain dumped on it right here over and over again. So that doesn't necessarily surprise me to see the potential of some flooding concerns even getting on and off interstates.
By the way, let me make a comment. That main line you're showing right there, Maggie, that is just now beginning to approach Humboldt, Jackson, it's moving east of Covington right now. That is where the heavier rain, the strongest winds, and the greatest severe weather potential remains at this time. That line that's developing back behind it around Truman, Mark Tree, Arkansas, there on the left side of your screen, that's just rainfall. That is now an atmosphere that's developing in an atmosphere that's been worked over, still some residual moisture, not enough energy for that to intensify. It's that leading edge. That's where we are seeing the greatest potential for intensification, heavier rainfall, larger hail, stronger winds. So we want to keep a very close eye on that. So Humboldt, Jackson, Henderson, Bolivar, I want you to have your first alert because these storms are coming your way and they're going to be there likely within the next hour or so. I want to go back right now to Patrick Ellis. He's in our Comfort Dynamics Storm Tracker. Got a good view here. We're not sure. Okay, he is near Bartlett. All right, so he was right there at near Canada Road earlier and then at 40 and 269. So yeah, he's coming up near Bartlett. Heavy rain coming on through there. Let's, and Maggie, you're taking a look at that Bartlett area, aren't you? It looks like it's just heavier rain there.
Yeah, and if you can look at it, or if you could pull up the storm tracker with this behind it and links, we are seeing heavy downpours in Bartlett where he's going. But again, I think it's just heavy rain. Really, we're still watching the majority or the leading edge of that storm pushing outside of Shelby County right now, continuing to make its way through, but still driving through really heavy rainy conditions over there. And still, you can see wet roadways there even. So definitely need to be careful in any portion of Shelby County that you plan on going through. But that's out of Bartlett. Again, Patrick Ellis in the First Alert Comfort Dynamics Storm Tracker. I'm sure he's taking it slow and being careful on the roadways this afternoon.
And by the way, Bartlett, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning right now, as is much of Shelby County, including the city of Memphis. So these are the active warnings we have. Let's run through them right now very quickly. Kind of tough to see here. Let me point out we've got one that's back to the west. All right, so severe thunderstorm warning. That is for Mississippi County. That's going to go until 2:30. We got another one just to the east of that. That is severe thunderstorm warning for Crockett, Dyer, Gibson, Lauderdale County. That's going to go until 3:15. Then we've got another polygon that is right here. That is going to go for Fayette, Hardeman, Haywood County, Tipton County. That's until 3 o'clock. Then Memphis and Shelby County under a severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to go until 3. We've got overlapping warnings here in eastern Arkansas coming into northwest Mississippi. The first for Crittenden, Lee, St. Francis, and Tunica. That goes until 2:30. We must have just hit 2:30. Yes, we did. So that went away. But now we have the Lee, Phillips, and Tunica County severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to go until 3:15 this afternoon. So right now, I'm very happy in the fact that no tornado warnings, but we're going to watch this very closely as the potential for a little spin up still exists in and around the area, especially along this leading edge right here. And then we're going to keep a close eye on this area right here. Maggie, you're looking at wind speed and direction, velocity basically. Anything catching your eye?
Yeah, I was looking at it because they were putting in the chat, also seeing for 5 minutes ago quarter-size hail at Broad Avenue and Cumberland Street in Memphis. So
Brownsville,
confirmed.
Brownsville, you're about to get hit.
Yes,
That's nearly 60-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, we're looking at this, and they're talking about that in the chat too. It's peaking, so Brownsville probably already on top of you, probably already feeling the repercussions of this strong storm that's coming in, bringing up to 60-mile-an-hour winds, and our system even picking up on it. So seeing this push through, but not only Brownsville, I want to give you a first alert to Allen's, Union. If you're traveling along 40, strong winds coming into play. That's why the severe thunderstorm warning is issued. And you can see strong winds all the way from Halls down into really just north of Summerville. But the strongest we're now indicating in Brownsville. So heads up, Brownsville, Sunny Hill, Oakview, Allen's, even ahead of that Union, if this sticks true. You are seeing strong winds coming into play. And also out ahead of this, again, Wellwood, Jones, Union, areas of that nature, Bells, all the way into Denmark, Mercer. If this stays true, you're going to want your patio furniture inside. You're not going to want to be on the roadways. Either anything that you have outside that's not firmly secured, you're going to want to bring inside if you still want it over the next hour, because these strong winds are starting to peak again right near Brownsville, up to 58, even 60 miles an hour. That's why that warning was issued.
Yeah, Brownsville, get ready for the potential power outages coming your way just within the next few minutes. I want to show you a time-lapse video that we have of the storm as it moved into Midtown. I believe this is from our High 5 camera in Midtown. Is that what it was, Anna? Let's take a look as the storm as it moved on through, and you see it just really start to develop and intensify quickly. Starts off as a few sprinkles. And look, for folks that are not dealing with anything just yet, northeast Mississippi, pay attention, because this is likely how it's going to begin for you. Starts off as just a little bit of rain. Then we start to see a little more cloud cover developing. We start to see a few scud clouds moving in. Those are those lower level clouds coming into play. Then we start to see that rain begin to intensify a little more. Gets heavier, gradually increasing. Then you're likely going to start to see things get a little darker. The rain's going to intensify much more. The winds start to pick up very heavily. And then the potential for a little hail comes into play. And wow, that was something else. By the way, let me show you the MLGW power outage map, because we've now got additional outages. And look at that big red box right there in the city of Memphis, in the heart of the 240 loop. 24 outages. That is impacting 3,681 MLGW customers. So power outages in Memphis right now. Got a couple of outages, it looks like, down in South Memphis near Whitehaven. Got a little bit right around Parkway Village, just to the east of the 240 loop in the Cordova area. But it looks like the hardest hit is right there in South Memphis, as we see that red box right there. Wow, absolutely amazing. Let's get back to tracking some storms, shall we? First alert Doppler radar right now still lit up with all of the lightning. Let me give you a quick lightning count and show you how much we're dealing with. We're going to get that count. Last count, we had about 2,900 strikes of lightning. So right now, let's look at this whole area right here. Let's track it out. We're now at 3,400 strikes of lightning. These storms are intensifying. Now they're starting to move into a moisture-rich, warm, untouched environment right now along and south of the 40 corridor into northeastern Mississippi. I do believe we need to keep a close eye on these storms that are coming out of Lee and Phillips counties, starting to make their way across the Mississippi River into Coahoma, Tunica County, and that's soon to move on into Tate and DeSoto counties as well. But we've also got a pretty significant Boeing segment that's moving through West Tennessee right now. Let me zoom into that, and I want to put a track on it because this area right here, look at that. That is something else. Let me give you a little better view. I'm going to switch over to my 3D view here, but couple of areas I want to watch closely. And Maggie, I'm going to ask you to keep a close eye too. Right here to the north, that's where the top of that bow, we call these bookend vortices that could develop. I see a little one trying to start out. Looks like it may start there. And we're also going to watch this area right here. So those are some areas we're going to watch for the potential for possibility of a little rotation, all right? But right now, let me clear this off and let's put a track on this and show you where this is going to go over the next few minutes. I'm going to bring this over just a little bit here, and then let's put a track on this whole line. So it's a big track, all right? I'm going to basically encompass several counties in this, several communities. It's kind of moving off to the east. Is it going to east-northeast or east-southeast, Maggie? I think it's more of a little bit of an east-southeast movement, isn't it? Trajectory?
I think it's east-southeast.
Yeah, there we go. So I'll give that just a little bit of a southerly tilt. So Summerville, 243. That's going to be coming at you right there. I'm tracking it from the heavier precipitation, the leading edge of the strongest wind, and where we're likely to find the potential for a little hail embedded as well. So 243 into Summerville, 255 into Whiteville, then 311, it moves into Jackson. After that, we'll see it get into Henderson at 331, then Luray at around 332, Selmer 353. McNairy County will be impacted by this. 343 or 353. So you've got a pretty good amount of time to get prepared as the storm is moving in your direction. Make sure your devices are charged and you've got all of your patio secured. Now, that'll move into Morris Chapel about 4:01 and then Savannah at about 4:17. So that is that portion of the storm right now. Let me move a little farther. By the way, I want to check in on our friends up in Dyer County, Dyersburg. Let me slice that. I want to see if there's, well, I can't do it right there. Tell you what, though, I can put a track on here because Dyersburg, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. You've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Dyer, Crockett, Gibson County. That's going to go until 3:15 this afternoon. Let me show you a track on here. I'm coming to Patrick in just a moment, but do we not have audio with him yet? We don't, do we? Okay, so we're not going to have audio from Patrick. All right, so New Bern 240, then Friendship 248, 303 into Dyer, Trenton at 309. Then it's going to move into Humboldt, 319, Medina, 330. We'll see that move into McLemoresville at 339 and then into Huntington at 352. So this is the northern portion of the storm. The most intense area, however, is just to the south. And that's what we're seeing move through Haywood County right now and start to enter Fayette County. So that's the heavier precipitation. This primarily just rain with some wind and some hail. Now let's head a little farther to the south. Tell you what, let's reset the picture for everybody, give you a view of the entire area. But now let's zoom in right here on northern Mississippi. I'll come back to Shelby County in just a moment. I believe Patrick's in Arlington right now. I'm going to check in with him in just a second, but I want to track this. Couple little areas. It's coming into Tate County right now, just rainfall, all right? That is just rain. I'm going to track just behind it because that's where the more intense portion of the storm is at this time. That's where the greater threat for the stronger wind, the hail, and the heavier rainfall is located. So, well, hit the wrong thing. Let's do this. Put a track on this. I'm going to just follow along on that line, and let's go this way. Helena, 239, Hernando, 3 o'clock, 314 into Senatobia. Then we're going to go into Sledge, 319. It'll get into Como, 335. Holly Springs, 347. Potts Camp, 407. And then we'll see that move into Ashland at 409. So that's a track for that southern portion We've tracked storms around West Tennessee. Let's zoom back in here in Memphis and Shelby County. Things are starting to subside a little bit. I think the severe weather threat may be moving to the east of Memphis and Shelby County. But wow, that little cluster right there, still under a severe thunderstorm warning right now, and that includes Lakeland, Arlington, Bartlett, Cordova. That goes until 3 o'clock, so another 20 minutes on that. Some indications of hail earlier. Wow, right there around Cordova. Looks like hail 1 inch in size. Let's check in with Patrick Ellis, a live view from the Comfort Dynamics First Alert Storm Tracker. He is in Arlington. This is at 269 and I-40. Wind gust of 40 miles per hour from that location right there. So not so bad. 40-mile-an-hour winds that can still take down some tree limbs. So when you start to see winds of 50 to 60 miles per hour, that's when that can do some significant damage. But right now, just some rain and things look, not the greatest there, but certainly not the worst. Maggie, what are you checking out right now? Anything catch your eye?
Yeah, I'm still checking out the storms that are in Shelby County. We are seeing them move out, as Ron said, and what's going to be moving in, well, isn't necessarily going to be severe, but we're still watching this heavy storm. I'll show you it on reflectivity, and then I'll show you what I was looking at, but still seeing a severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County from really Millington down into Collierville because of this last storm that's heavy and pushing through, the heaviest sitting from Lakeland to Cordova. And I think we're getting reports from hail from Cordova, quarter-size hail in Cordova, and that makes sense. That's where we're seeing the hail tracker put on it as well. You can see here that bright purple, that's what that's picking up on our system, up to ping pong size hail. But again, ground truth, we're seeing up to, what did they say? Anyway, we're seeing hail in Cordova. This is stretching from Brunswick into Cordova. Lakeland likely seeing this as well, and Eads. Again, this is making its way outside of the coverage area into portions of really Tipton, Fayette County, but still clipping portions of eastern Shelby County, and Ron, still dropping hail as it makes its way through. So still going to be watching the potential for hail as it comes through the rest of Shelby County.
Let me show you the high five camera in Midtown right now. Check this out. This is a look from our camera in Midtown Memphis.
Wow.
The calm after the storm.
What?
Now, there's still more rain coming our way, all right? So let's not all run outside and get ready and happy and let our guard down, because there's still lightning out there. And as we always say, when thunder roars, you go indoors. Lightning, the second most deadly natural phenomenon. The first most deadly natural phenomenon, flooding. And we're dealing with both of those this afternoon. So this is still a dangerous situation, but things are a bit calmer here at our studios at 1960 Union Avenue. But as we go to our first alert Doppler radar, there's a whole lot of activity that's still going on. Let's outline the warnings one more time, give you an idea of what we're looking at, what's still working where. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning. That is for Crockett, Dyer, Gibson, and Lauderdale counties. That goes until 3:15. We got another one just to the south of that. That is for, covers it up there, Crockett, Gibson, Haywood, and Madison County. That goes until 3:15. Then another one. This one is for Fayette, Hardeman, Haywood, and Tipton County. That goes until 3 o'clock. The one that is for Shelby County, that is going to go until 3. So we're coming up on a critical time period here where we're going to see many of these warnings expire. The big question is, will new warnings be issued? My guess is that yes, they will be. But right now, right here, and there's more than 5 strikes of lightning in there too. Lee, Phillips, Tunica County, severe thunderstorm warning for you. That's going to go until 3:15 this afternoon. So let's get some features back on here. Let's take a look once again at where the history of hail has come through the area. As we take a look at this, you can see those hail tracks right here around West Tennessee, mainly along and north of the 40 corridor. Folks that are in South Memphis, not much there. There's really been not a lot going on around DeSoto County, Marshall County, Benton, Tempe counties, but you've got a ripe environment, storms just to your west with a history of producing damaging wind, large hail, and very heavy rain now moving in your direction. And once again, it is going to be this area right here that's really just kind of south of 40 and into northeast Mississippi. This is going to be the focus now for the potential for more severe thunderstorms to develop. We still have a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect for much of the Action News 5 coverage area. That's going to go until 7 o'clock this evening. I do believe we're going to get these storms out of here well before that, but still a lot of activity going on right now. And I tell you, as you take a close look at all this heavy rainfall that's coming down, you can even see the intensity right here as this makes its way across the Mississippi River. That's starting to push into Tunica County. Looks like it's going to clip northern Coahoma County, but this could become a little more linear, stretching out to impact more of Coahoma, Quitman, Panola, and Lafayette County, which, by the way, are not under severe thunderstorm watch this afternoon. But the potential for severe thunderstorms to move through is certainly there. We're starting to see a bit of a more tranquil pattern develop along and west of the Mississippi River, just rainfall in areas there, but there's still a lot of lightning. And as a matter of fact, just taking a look at this view, just lightning right here, look at that. 540 strikes of lightning. Then you take a look at these storms that are down here that are about to enter northern Mississippi. They're producing about 727 strikes of lightning, but the main line, the strongest area of storms making their way to the east, more than 1,600 strikes of lightning within that. Maggie, you're looking at some pretty impressive winds there on our system. What are you seeing?
Yeah, we've been seeing winds in this area. I just showed you it out of Brownsville, gave you a heads up there. Well, heads up for those folks outside of that area because we're still seeing it peak in portions of Haywood County. The good news is this is moving outside of the Mid-South coverage area and portions of Jackson, Tennessee, but it's not there just yet. So I want to show you the overall picture. This is looking at wind speed and direction. So the red is winds moving away from the radar, and you can kind of see them peaking in portions of eastern Haywood County, still outside of Brunsville, but on 40 from Bells, and then also stretching into portions just west of Denmark. That's where we're seeing the really strongest winds start to develop, and we're still seeing them. Our system's still picking up winds up to 65 miles an hour. So that's the strongest winds that we're seeing. Again, it's in portions of Haywood County. It's pushing out of our area, but that still could cause some damage within that area if you do live in portions of eastern Haywood County. Still seeing some strong winds even outside of that area, really stretching from portions of Dyer Crockett County all the way into portions of eastern Shelby County. That's just that sweet spot that we've been watching that's been showing that leading edge of that storm. It's been giving the strongest winds so far. So we're going to continue to watch that, continue to see any reports that do come out of that area, you know, trees down, power outages, anything like that in portions of Haywood County. So we're going to continue to monitor that. I want to show you what warnings we currently have on First Alert Doppler radar because we still have a few. Still seeing that one in portions of Shelby County. I think the good news is, though, that's pushing outside of the area. But Dyer, Crockett, Haywood, Fayette County still seeing these strong storms coming your way. Still pushing into portions of western Tennessee. Again, those strong storms possibly containing some hail, but also seeing that wind being a main concern, especially that one out of Haywood County. Showers and storms that are behind this, though, Ron, seeing a little bit of a lull from Covington down to Shelby County, and then we'll see a few more start to pop up, but not necessarily seeing severe storms out of that. I think just general thunderstorms coming into play because the atmosphere has really been sucked out from this first round that's came through.
You know, I made the statement moments ago that our southern counties weren't included in that severe thunderstorm watch, and I believe they must have just been added earlier because the watch itself went from Tunica, Tate County north, but now the entire Action News 5 coverage area under a severe thunderstorm watch. And that watch means conditions are favorable for severe thunderstorms to develop. That's going to go until 7 o'clock this evening. I do believe this will be out of here long before 7 this evening, but that watch in place through that time period. And several warnings, meaning severe thunderstorms are actually occurring right now, in place at this time. And as a matter of fact, new info right now and a new warning that just came in. Let me show you this one because that's a rather large polygon. That is for Chester, Hardeman, Henderson, Madison County. That's going to go until 3:30 this afternoon. So that's going to replace a couple of polygons that were in place as the storms were moving in that direction. Let me give you a loop on this and show you the movement of this entire system itself. So we got two areas that we're keeping a close eye on. First, this one right here, that's making a move off to the east, and there's that bowing segment just now beginning to enter Madison County. It's pushed on through Haywood County. I think we're right around Crockett County. You're going to be in pretty good shape. It looks like it's a little weaker there, but nonetheless, still some gusting winds, some very heavy rain associated with that. I want to keep a close eye on that southern portion that's moving on through Fayette and headed towards Hardeman County. But there's another area right here, and notice how that's really starting to congeal and come together here. It's also going to start to branch out and move into North Mississippi. So a couple of distinct areas that we are watching for storm development. As a matter of fact, Maggie, you were looking at some hail and some wind down there around Tunica. What is that looking like?
Yeah, not overall impressive, especially in comparison to what we have seen, but still the potential for dropping some small hail as it moves over the Mississippi River into portions of Tunica. But I was watching this because they haven't extended this, but this is eventually going to push into the strong storm into portions of North Mississippi, DeSoto and Tate County, even northern portions of Panola County, who relatively have remained untouched. So along 55, people are going to start traveling around 55 in the next hour or so. It's going to be pretty congested, and along with getting a pretty strong shower and storm moving through at the same time as traffic, it's going to be making its way, people along 55 going home. So your first alert, if you headed home in the next few hours or next hour or so, probably going to be a pretty wet ride home for you. Not necessarily seeing this extend, a severe thunderstorm warning extend into your area along 55, but we're still going to be keeping an eye on that. But overall, not too impressed by it, especially in comparison to the storms that are happening in portions of western Tennessee right now, Ron. Especially that big one. They really extended that warning again to merge those few, but also because that wind potential within that storm.
Yeah, and that was a good move by the National Weather Service too. Just put that whole area under a severe thunderstorm warning. So Bolivar, I know nothing's going on there right now. It's cloudy, maybe a little breezy, but look, you've got a strong line of rain and thunderstorms moving in your direction. I'm going to come back and I'm going to track that in just a moment. I want to put a track on this area that Maggie was focused on just a moment ago, and let's track this line of storms as that continues to move off to the east. Again, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for that, but now it's crossing the Mississippi River. We're starting to see some heavier precipitation breaking out around DeSoto County, and I'll track it from that leading edge. And let's go even a little farther and take it almost due east, as it looks like that's been the general movement of this. So Friars Point, that's going to come in there at about 257, 303 in Hernando, then 320 into Senatobia. It will move into Byhalia by 328. We'll see it move into Como at 341, 352 into Holly Springs, Snow Lake Shores at about 408, and then Ashland at 413. I'm tracking this based on a 40-mile-an-hour movement. These storms are moving at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. So these storm times may be just a couple of minutes early, but either way, you're getting a general idea of when that's going to move in. So take some time now, know where the safest place to go in your home is. You want to be away from exterior walls and windows. You always want to treat a severe thunderstorm warning as you would a tornado warning. And something to keep in mind, a tornado can develop with little to no warning in a severe thunderstorm. So treat it as you would a tornado warning. Just head to the safe place in your home. If you've got a storm shelter, you want to ride it out there, not a bad idea, because the winds are certainly strong with this and show some signs of possibly intensifying as it moves on to the east as well. As a matter of fact, just taking a look at some of the velocity winds there Maggie was pointing out, nothing really impressive there, but I do see a couple little areas with some broad scale rotation. Looks like it's trying to develop within the line. So we're going to watch that for the potential for a couple of spin ups to develop there. Hail cores, let's see what we have there. There was some big hail as this was moving through eastern Arkansas. As a matter of fact, close to 2 inches in size as that came through Marianna, Arkansas. Hail size, again, close to 2 inches. So some large hail, some very heavy rainfall. The rainfall rates at this time, it's coming down, can create some flash flooding just to the north of Tunica, right there along Highway 61. Just close to 2 inches per hour. South of Tunica, getting some heavier downpours there, about 1 3/4 inches per hour. Just to the south of Helena, rainfall of about 1.5 inches per hour. So very heavy rain, creating the potential for flash flooding. And we're also dealing with the strong winds that are right there on the leading edge, and you can almost see that wind outline right there. Maggie, any ideas? And let me go back to the home view here because we do have several flash flood warnings, and we've got a big one that's just to the west of the Mississippi River. I know you were focused on that just a moment ago, but let me give you your first alert to the timing on this. Flash flood warning for Crittenden, Cross, Mississippi, Poinsett counties. That's going to go until 5:15. We saw a lot of rainfall come through there. And Maggie, even a lot of rain right here in Shelby County in the Memphis metro. What are you seeing?
Yeah, that's right, because that storm that moved through that portion of the area, Crittenden into Cross County, made its way into Shelby County and dumped a lot of rain as well. So let me show you how much rain. This is radar estimate, so we'll give you ground truth in the coming hours or day or so. But this is how much that our system is saying is picked up. Again, up to 2, even up to 2.5 inches possible in portions of Crittenden, Cross County, even into portions of Shelby County. Because watch this. So I have this looping over the last hour. That system was in portions of eastern Arkansas, then it made its way into western Tennessee, also dumping a whole lot of rainfall into portions of Shelby County. Even as this line moved through, that heaviest pocket of rain could have dumped anywhere between 2, even up to 3 inches where it came through. Again, Shelby, Tipton, up into Haywood County, really sitting where we're seeing the heaviest portion, where this is showing north of 40. So where that did set up, we could see the potential for localized flooding concerns. That flood warning in portions of eastern Arkansas, but wouldn't be surprised to see a few more of those as the evening goes on, because we're still seeing rain. We saw up to 2 inches there, and we're not done with now, not necessarily severe in portions of eastern Arkansas, but still seeing some pretty heavy rain come down in those same areas, adding to the additional rain they already got. So flooding concerns, yeah, that's going to be something we're going to have to watch over the next hour and in the coming days.
Yeah, I'm ready to get that big line that extends from Bells down to Oakland out of here. That needs to move and get out of here quickly. But Bolivar, that is coming your way within the next few minutes. Let me give you a track. And then I want to take a look at some of the video we've had coming in today. We've had some very impressive video with these storms that are moving on through the Mid-South. But first, let me zoom into this little area and track this as it's getting ready to now move on into Hardeman County. That's soon going to move into McNairy County as well. So let's give a first alert. I'm going to track it just to the north of the Hardeman County line, and we're just going to take it due east because that's been the general movement of this. It was trying to push to the southeast, but really this line just kind of came together, and it's now moving under its own momentum, and it's decided it's going east. So this is going to move into Tune at about 3:04. 3:09 it will move into Bolivar. 3:25 into Henderson. Then we'll see that move into Enville right around 3:47, Morris Chapel, 4 o'clock, 4:01 into Selmer, Savannah, 4:24, 4:28, that will move into Austin. So Bolivar, 3:09, there's your first alert. Take some time. Make sure your cell phones, your tablets, they're charged. You got a few minutes here. If there's anything you need to secure outdoors, do it. And by the way, if your car is outside and you've got some shelter you can move it to, I'd suggest you do that. Take a minute or so to do that because we've had a history of large hail with this. Let's take a look at some of the video that's been coming in. Anna, what do you got for us first? Anna is our producer in the booth this afternoon. She had lined up some pretty good stuff. Let's take a look at the rain in Lakeland first and show you that. This is what came through northeastern Shelby County. Dave Brown's hometown of Lakeland, Tennessee, right there. Did we get this? This is from Melissa. So she's right there on Garner Lake, it looks like. And that is the heavy rain coming down through there. Not so bad. Rainy day. I'm wondering if this was before or after the wind that moved on through there. Now, we also had some pretty impressive hail video from Jonesboro. Check this out. This came through earlier this afternoon. Wow. Is that not something? That is quarter-size hail, and
A lot of.
yeah, our friends at KAIT reporting storm damage up in Jonesboro. So a lot of hail, strong wind. Those storms were really starting to evolve as they got in there. So a lot of wind, a lot of hail. Do we have a wind? We had another wind video. Let's take a look at this. This we showed you earlier. Larger hail. Looks like it's ping pong ball size. And you see all that debris flying? That's the hail. Basically just stripping the leaves from the tree. You probably even get the scent of pine in that area as the hail comes through there. strips those leaves off, and you get that wood, that fresh wood from the trees that's now exposed as a result of the hail and the wind coming through. And wow, what a impressive video that is. By the way, if you have the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app on your smartphone or your tablet, and you're in an area where you can safely take pictures, we want to see them. And as a matter of fact, you can go to your app, your Action News 5 First Alert Weather app, and if you scroll right down to the bottom of the app, you've got so many features on here. By the way, you can watch our live coverage as well, but there's a little area right here that says Submit Photos. Tap on that. You can upload photos or video from your location. That goes directly to our news desk, gives us permission to use that on the air. So many great features on here, a wonderful thing to have, and especially if additional warnings are going to be issued before the afternoon is over. This is a wonderful tool to have. So this is what we're looking at right now. Let's reset and show you the big picture once again. Where is Patrick? Do we have him? I believe he was headed to DeSoto County. He was getting ahead of this line. Let's take a live look from our Comfort Dynamics First Alert Storm Tracker. Let's show you where he is. This is a live view of Patrick. He's not talking to us because he's driving, so we are erring on the side of safety, and we would rather him focus on the driving. This is a camera that is attached to the dash. He doesn't have to touch it. It is automatic. It's right there. He's got the rooftop camera and the dash cam. So we're getting almost a driver's perspective of where he is and where he's going.
Is he on 55, Ron?
He's on 269 headed to DeSoto County. So he had gone up around those storms around Bartlett. Then I think he came on through Lakeland, Arlington area, and now coming on down south, and he is headed into DeSoto County. And he's going to get ahead of this. Let me show you this on a First Alert Doppler radar, because that's what's moving into DeSoto County right now, the heavier precipitation that is there. We switched over to our terminal Doppler that's located right there around Olive Branch. So look at all of the intense lightning that we're seeing right now. So this is what we're seeing, lightning there, 132 strikes of lightning just on that small view right there. Let's put a track on this and show you what we're looking at. I'm going to track it from the leading edge of the rain, all right? Not necessarily the heavier precipitation, but the leading edge of the precipitation. So, Hernando, it's going to begin for you right around 3:02. Begins as a little light rain. Winds start to pick up. Then the rain intensifies, possibility of some hail coming in, but 3:02 it should begin, 3:12 into Olive Branch, 3:14 into Alfalfa, and then it'll move into Bowman at about 3:20. Piperton, we'll see it move into that area, 3:36 or 3:29, 3:36 into Rossville, and then it's going to move into Mariana at about 3:41. We'll see that move into Moscow at about 3:48. So that's the cell that's right there along and south of the Mississippi-Tennessee state line on through DeSoto and Tate County. Here's a look once again at the big picture. This is what we're dealing with. We've got lightning on the Mississippi River Bridge. Let's check it out because there's some pretty intense lightning. Maggie, that little cell is firing back up once again. This is the Hernando DeSoto Bridge, and we are looking the Mississippi River. Wait, this is south of Tunica. All right, so this is this is south of Tunica. I thought we were looking at what we had back in Shelby County. Let's take a look, and that's a washout there.
Yeah,
drivers are going slowly. Let's take a look at our downtown camera, either our downtown or midtown camera, because the rain is now picked up once again. Look at that. There's the 55 bridge. Bit of an ominous view there. Let's now switch over to our midtown camera, and we're going to focus in the same direction. We are looking to the west towards downtown. Union Avenue's there on the left side of your screen. We had a little peak of sunshine moments ago, and now we're back to this, but it is not severe. However, the rain is heavy and there's a lot of lightning that remains in there. And I'm starting to see, and Maggie, you've got a great view of it on our link system, you are starting to see lightning intensify right there around Julius. Looks like it's near Clarkdale. And you want to talk about what you're looking at there?
Yeah, I was watching this because we're talking about these showers and storms that are coming into play after those main line and those strong storms that came into play that gave severe thunderstorm warnings, these no warnings associated with them because they're not reaching severe limits, but it doesn't mean they're not putting down a lot of rainfall, and lightning's not associated with them. So looking at that one, you can just see an update from Jericho down to Crawfordsville and about to push through Ebony and portions of Crittenden County. Lot of lightning associated, even an uptick of lightning with this one. If I zoom in just to this cell, up to 50 strikes. So again, an uptick of lightning from this one that's going to be making its way once again across the river into portions of Shelby County, but still non-severe at this time. But that doesn't mean, I want you to know, just because the severe threat is mainly shifting off into portions of western Tennessee, we're still seeing some strong storms that could be pushing through, that could uptick in lightning and give some heavy rainfall, and we're still going to be keeping an eye on them as well.
Maggie, do you have the surface features on that system that you can show the fronts, the boundaries that are out there right now? Because I believe what we're looking at is the cold front. Yeah, all right, so a little bit of a stall front, but high pressure is building in back behind it. That's going to allow that to move a little to the east, and I think what we're seeing develop right now, that secondary line that's developing in right there around eastern Arkansas, just to the west of the river, I think that's that front. That's that boundary that's starting to come in there. Yeah. I don't think that's going to move all the way through the Mid-South. I think it's just going to kind of linger over the area and then likely lift north as a warm front until tomorrow. Yeah. And that's going to keep us in a moisture-rich, juicy environment for the rest of the week and on into the Memorial Day weekend. So we are looking at several days of stormy weather. Now, are we going to be dealing with storms like this every day for the next few days? I don't think so, but we're going to be dealing with periods of rain, downpours, maybe a few strong to severe storms from now on through the weekend. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're going to be out this weekend, out on the lake, maybe in the park, you've got picnics, whatever you're doing with your family, or just hanging around the house. You're going to want to stay weather aware, and that's why I want you to get the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. Go to your app store. You can download it right there. It's free for Apple and Android products. You're going to have all of this info from the Action News 5 First Alert Weather team. And by the way, if you lose power, you can watch us live and continue to track storms right there on your smartphone or tablet. Let's outline the warnings we've got here right now. We've still got several working in and around the area. First, we got Crockett, Dyer, Gibson, Lauderdale County. That's going to go until 3:15. I think they just modified that. So Crockett, Dyer, Gibson, Haywood County till 3:15. Looks like a new one just popped up there for Carroll, Crockett, Gibson, and Madison County. That too until 3:15. The largest of the polygons working right now is for Fayette, Hardeman, Haywood, and Madison County. That's going to go until 3:30, and we're watching one severe thunderstorm warning right here. That's for northern Mississippi. For Lee, Phillips, Tunica counties, that is going to go until 3:15 this afternoon. So a lot of storms making their way through the Action News 5 coverage area right now. Fortunately, nothing in the way, no tornado warnings. No tornado warnings at all. Severe thunderstorm watch remains for the entire coverage area until 7 o'clock this evening. But right now, these are the active warnings we have for the area. Things are starting to become a little more tranquil for the Memphis Metro, but it is this line that's moving in from the west that's producing some pretty good lightning, also some very heavy rainfall, and that's going to bring another round of storms into the Memphis Metro. Maggie, you've got the 1 hour future cast on this. I want to show that because Maggie's taking the actual radar data right now, and we are projecting it 1 hour into the future based on its current movement, intensity, and path. And so this is where we expect that storm to go over the next hour. So from now until about 4:08, that line that's currently back into eastern Arkansas is going to make its way through Shelby County. Maggie, that's a great depiction there.
Yeah, I like it because it shows that really strong storm that's been dealing with those winds pushing out of our area in the next hour.
And look, it even shows that kind of lifting north on Hardeman County. Can you see that? That may just clip northern Hardeman County so that what actually comes through the rest of the county may be rather benign. It's also showing a bit of a southerly trek to that storm down in Mississippi.
And,
Oxford, here's your first alert.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm just saying models have been showing that this morning. They did a little yesterday, but kind of two almost separate systems in a way, or two different tracks of the southern track, really Shelby County into North Mississippi, moving south and to the east, and then that separate track or that other system kind of lifting off to the north. So they have been hinting at that, so that does make sense and kind of goes with the other model runs that we've been showing of these systems almost going out in two different directions and making their way out of the area. But again, if that does hold true, then Lafayette County into North Mississippi going to be getting hit with that in the next hour.
Yeah, by the way, brand new warning just came out from the National Weather Service for those storms moving out of Arkansas and into North Mississippi. Let's go back to our first alert Doppler radar. Let me show you what's going on there. Let's reset the scene, give you the big picture here. A lot of lightning. And by the way, just a quick check of the lightning strikes. Give us an idea of whether these storms are continuing to hold together, weakening, or even trying to ramp up a bit. So the whole view now, 1,500 lightning strikes. Earlier, we were right around 3,000 lightning strikes. So that's good to see. That's an indication that this whole system now is starting to calm down just a bit. We'll get this stronger area of storms out of the Action News 5 coverage area within the next 30 to 45 minutes, but it's this area that is just to the south that we want to continue to keep a very close eye on and track, because that is headed into a very warm and, again, moisture-rich environment, and that is going to impact eastern Tate County, Panola, Lafayette counties. And based on what we were seeing on that future scan, I want to give it a little track that is more to the east-southeast, and let's take this on through Lafayette County and Oxford. So Senatobia, 322, Batesville, 347. We'll see that move into Cortland at about 355. 415 into Oxford, Blue Mountain, 438. Then it moves into New Albany at 447, 507 into Pontotoc, and then 529, that's going to move into Tupelo. Right now, the main concerns with this storm, of course, the intense lightning that's associated with it, just within this one cell itself. We've got about 380 lightning strikes. Let me zoom in. Let me show you something here quickly. Give you a little meteorology lesson while we're tracking. We got a little extra time. You see these lightning strikes right here? Look at that little area right there. There is nothing going on right there. But those are lightning strikes that have occurred within the last 5 minutes. These are positive lightning strikes from the core of the storm. And right here, that's the core, all right? You can get a lightning strike up to 10 miles from the core of that storm. And as a matter of fact, we tracked that out. Those lightning strikes, look at that, they're occurring about 16 miles. I tracked it from the middle. Let's take a look. That's closer to 10 to 12 miles right there. So up to 10 miles away from the core of a storm, you can get a lightning strike. Nothing's going on here. We call those a bolt from the blue. In other words, it's dry, boom, cloud to ground lightning hits, and it can be deadly. Positive lightning strikes are 10 times more potent than negative lightning strikes. We typically see more negative strikes than positive, but these are the strong ones. And this is why we say when thunder roars, go indoors, because lightning can strike. If you hear thunder, that means you are at risk of being struck by lightning. So lightning is very, very dangerous. You have to treat it very, very seriously. We got this area of lightning that's starting to come into play here in Shelby County. I'm going to put a track on that line. Maggie, if you're looking at anything, I see you've got some hail lined up over there too. I'm going to come to you in just a moment. But let me zoom in on this area right here. By the way, Joyce Peterson's in studio with us this afternoon. We're going to check in with her in just a moment, talk about MLGW power outages and any other news that she may have to pass on here. But let's track this line to the east. That's going to bring this through Memphis and Shelby County. So Millington, 321, that's going to be moving in there. Memphis, 332, that'll get inside the 240 loop at 332. Lakeland, 344, then into South Haven, 354, 409 into Collierville, Somerville, 418. It's then going to move on into Whiteville at about 429. We'll see it get into Moscow at 434. So that's the cell we're watching there. Let me put this back on the home view. Maggie, you're taking a quick look at hail. What are you seeing there? Is that right there around Lula, Mississippi? It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Just around Lula and then also really to the south and east of Helena, West Helena. This is our latest severe thunderstorm warning that we've seen issued for portions of Coahoma, Panola, Mississippi, also Quitman, Tate, Tunica. Counties seeing this all encompassed in their area, and this is up to quarter size. That's why they put the severe thunderstorm warning on there. And we're also seeing this on our hail tracker. So I want to go ahead, give you a first alert to that this system is probably dropping off some quarter size or really small hail as it makes its way through. And again, this is just now crossing over the Mississippi River, or really the heaviest portion. You could see it in reflectivity right there. That's where we're seeing the heaviest portion of rainfall. That also can be indicative of hail, which it probably is. So that is going to be making its way into North Mississippi, getting Tunica County, Coahoma County, but also eventually into portions of Panola and Tate County. I've been looking at the Senatobia camera. They haven't seen anything yet, Ron. So
can we pop that up? Can we bring that up? This is Senatobia, Mississippi. This is the Northwest Community College campus there. Do we have that? I don't think. Do we have? Can they access that in the booth? There we go.
There it is.
Look at that. Is the ground even, have they even had any sprinkles or anything here?
No,
Nothing.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So.
It's coming though.
Yeah.
All right, get ready. So if you're at Northwest Community College, if you're within that vicinity, strong storms are headed your way. An active severe thunderstorm warning, intense lightning, very heavy rain, strong gusting wind, and hail. Right now, I believe our confirmation for hail has been about dime to quarter size for the most part. Have we had any reports, Maggie, of hail larger than maybe ping pong ball size? Have you seen anything?
I don't think so. Potentially in Craighead County.
Yeah.
But not in the Mid-South.
Yeah, that hail that was coming down in the Jonesboro area, that was something else. Big hail. We'll show that to you again in just a few minutes, but still got flash flood warnings that are in effect right now. This is for a good portion of eastern Arkansas. This is Critton and Cross, Mississippi, and Poinsett counties. That's going to go until 5:15. That gives you an idea of the amount of rain that has come down in and around the area and created some flooding there. So the potential for flash flooding still exists there. Tell you what, we have got two warnings that we're dealing with right now. Let me give you this one. It looks like there's really starting to scale back on this. Chester, Hardeman, Haywood, and Madison County. That's going to go until 3:30 this afternoon. Then we got the severe thunderstorm warning now. This is for Coahoma, Panola, Quitman, Tunica County. That is going to go until 4 this afternoon. So that's what we're looking at with those storms as they continue to move on through. Maggie, you seeing anything on there that catches your eye?
No, I don't. I was still looking at those that are pushing right now out of the Mid-South. You can see there on First Alert Doppler radar, just making sure we're not missing anything. Still seeing some high winds, but as of right now, the majority of those actually, again, pushing into portions of Jackson, Tennessee. So that falls outside of the Mid-South. Still seeing some brighter reds coming in around Bolivar, about to push into Bolivar. But overall, what we've seen so far, the heaviest is pushing out, which is good news here in the Mid-South. Still some heavy rainfall, but for the most part, that's what we're dealing with. Still strong winds in that, and then also hail pushing over into portions of North Mississippi. Those are those two warnings we have here in Shelby County. No warnings, some heavy rainfall, but that's really about it.
I tell you what, let's do this. It's 3:18 right now. Investigate TV is on, and if we got you back to your regularly scheduled programming, we dump you right in the middle of that towards the end of it. Let's go until 3:30 this afternoon. Storms have now exited the Memphis metro. Let me clear all this out of here, okay? Just to give you an idea. It looks like a calmer pattern is beginning to emerge. Now, we still have the severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect. It extends all the way back into Arkansas, but I think we're going to get this line out of here, and this is going to be the main show as it moves on through and comes on in. This is going to be in until 7 o'clock, but it is this line that's working through right now. I think once that exits the area, we're done. We are done. West Tennessee, northeastern Arkansas. Once we get this little band of storms out of northern Mississippi, it's going to take a little while before that moves on through, but that too will be done. But So we'll stick with you until about 3:30, and then we'll start with Action News 5 now at 3:30 with Kim Clark. Hopefully I'll be able to get over there and join her on set as well. We'll talk more about the weather and the day's news, and of course Action News 5 at 4 with Kim and Joyce Peterson coming up. So this is what we're looking at right now, a much calmer pattern emerging. Still a lot of lightning in there, but the lightning counter itself is starting to lower considerably, and we are in very, very good shape there. Again, this little cluster of storms right here, a little ominous, 333 strikes. We're watching that little area right there. That's going to come on into Shelby County and the Memphis Metro, 55 strikes. And then this main line, that's that Boeing segment. That's starting to move on outside the Action News 5 coverage area. That's the main line of storms, 830 strikes with that portion of the storm itself. And all of this making a rapid push to the east and carrying this on out of the Action News 5 coverage area. Right now, it looks like this could quite possibly translate in nothing more than some heavy rain and some brief gusting wind, because even that is starting to show some signs of stabilizing to some degree. I want to take a look right now and see if there are any additional hail signatures that are popping up. Really nothing much. There's a little bit that was right here as that was coming on into crossing the Mississippi River. There was some big hail there. Look at that. There was an indication earlier as that came through Lee County. Whoops, let me show you that. There was indication right there of hail just over 1.5 inches in size, and we had close to 2-inch size hail at one point, indications of 2-inch size hail, about 1.5 inches right now. So that's what we're looking at there. We take it back to the main view, and it's translating now into very heavy rainfall. Do we have the MLGW power outage map? Is that gone? We do have that? Let's go to it right now. Let me show you this. I want to talk about, Joyce Peterson, do you have anything to add for us?
First of all, Kim is out today, so it'll be
Okay.
Joe on at 3:30, and it'll just be me solo at 4. We're looking at about 2,700 customers without power on the MLGW outage map. Let me make sure, because I just updated my grid, and it's sometimes slow to update on our...
Tell you what, your mic is off. I'm going to come back to you in just a moment once I get that fixed, but we've got 2,700.
How's that? Is that better?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
The mute button was on. Sorry, I had to load my own batteries and get going today. So it's been a day. 2,700 customers without power, according to MLGW. I did want to talk about Energy Arkansas, too. Marianna has about 2,700 customers out, and then Marion, Arkansas has some customers out as well, and then scattered outages throughout Arkansas. Jonesboro, I don't know how much you all have been talking about Jonesboro. I just replaced Joe out here on the set, so I'm getting up to speed. The damage in Jonesboro, the firehouse, firehouse number 3, the Lowe's there's damage in the parking lot, sheds are splintered, lots of tree damage, homes are damaged. So we'll be seeing more pictures coming out of there. But again, MLGW, the grid appears to be holding up, 2,700 customers without power. Big red outage box in Cordova. I know you were talking about Cordova earlier and the large hail there and the wind. But so far, 2,700 customers, 544-6500 if your power is out. Do call them to report it. And that's it for now.
JP and folks at home, let me show you, Anna, let's bring up that video from Jonesboro that came through. They got punched with some major wind and hail. If we can quickly access that video, I want to show you what came through Jonesboro, Arkansas earlier today. Look at the debris. These are leaves, large hail, strong wind. There were likely 60, possibly 70-mile-an-hour winds in that area. A big box retailer impacted by that. The firehouse in Jonesboro impacted by that. I would imagine a lot of folks without power this afternoon. And then flooding concern as well with the heavier rain. But absolutely incredible. This was sent to us from Matt Conatser in Jonesboro, Arkansas, from earlier, late morning, early afternoon as that storm moved on through. Much more tranquil scene in Jonesboro and around much of eastern Arkansas right now, as our first alert Doppler radar shows. Storms have moved on out. Taking a look at the big picture, we got a little rain that's trying to develop back to the west, but we're not anticipating anything in the way of severe weather. We get this storm system out of here, we're going to be in great shape. And by the way, National Weather Service just extended that, I do believe, and even stretched it a little farther to the east. This is now going to be for Chester, Hardin, Henderson, and McNairy counties. That's going to go until 4:15. This severe thunderstorm warning still holding together down to the south for Panola, Quitman, Tate, and Tunica counties. That is going to go until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So a lot of activity coming on through. And mainly for us now, we're transitioning into a very heavy rain lightning event. All right. So I think even our wind concerns are starting to diminish as we get on into it. Maggie, you seeing anything in the strong winds with that cell down in Mississippi? I see the strong winds are still cranking with that storms that's making its way through Madison County, but it's that little cell right there that we had some concern about, but it looks like it's remaining compact, just kind of general severe thunderstorm warning.
Even the hail has kind of gone down in the last few minutes overall on our hail tracker as well. So just heavy rainfall, to be honest, as this makes its way through. Lots of lightning, going to be impacting your drive home, but overall not necessarily severe at this time. I think it's kind of trending downward.
Patrick Ellis in the Comfort Dynamics First Alert Storm Tracker. He is down in, I think he's headed through Tunica and Tate counties now. Do we have his live? Yeah, he's coming out of Byhalia, so he's just exiting Marshall County. He's coming down around through 269. By the way, Patrick Ellis has been going strong since 2 o'clock this morning. We did the handoff, got a chance to catch up. It's not often we get to see each other. Over the last 2 weeks, though, I think we've seen more of each other than we have in the last year. But he's still going strong out there, and rather tranquil weather conditions that he is driving through. We do have some pictures of hail that came in from Munford. Let's take a look at this. Is this video or are these pictures that we have? Okay, we don't have that, all right? Hail in Cordova. We do have that though, right? There we go. Look at this. Heavy rain. Yeah, and some small hail. I think that's what a lot of people saw today.
Yeah.
Some pea to dime-size hail, a lot of heavy rain, a lot of wind, and rainfall amounts right around what, 1.5 inches, 2 inches of rain for many areas. Not sure what they picked up at National Weather Service. I'm going to head back here to the weather office quickly.
Yeah,
just take a look at our rain gauge.
Where you are too. If you got under one of those most heaviest pockets and in that line that just got over and over again, could have seen up to 2. I think most people probably 1 to 2. What do we get here, Ron?
Yeah, we got 8400s, just under 1 inch of rain at 1960 Union Avenue at our studios here in Midtown. And a quick look from our High 5 camera in Midtown. Let me show you this. This is a lovely sight. A calmer pattern emerging. Now, there's still some rain that's going to come through, all right? We're going to get another little band of rain that will likely come through, and we may even have some showers to contend with tonight. But I do believe our severe weather threat is winding down considerably as this moves out of the Action News 5 coverage area and starts to make its push towards the Tennessee River. Before we go, though, I've got about another 1.5 minutes before we get you to Action News 5 now. Maggie, let's show you that 1-hour futurecast projecting the current storms that we have at this time based on their current intensity, movement, and speed. This is what we're projecting over the next hour. So from now until about 4:27, that big line moving through West Tennessee is going to make its way to the Tennessee River. It is going to clip northern Hardeman and northern McNairy counties, so you can expect some wind there, but it looks like Bolivar and Selmer may miss the most intense of it, and it looks like that cell is going to begin to impact Lafayette County and Oxford right around or shortly after 4 o'clock. So that's what we have. We're going to wrap it up here from our studios, our severe weather coverage, wall-to-wall coverage as we call it. We want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. I do want you to stay weather aware. Make sure you've got the Action News 5 First Alert Weather app. Kudos to Maggie McCallie and Patrick Ellis today, putting in the long hours, some great storm tracking. We thank you for watching us. Kim Clark is next on Action News 5 Now. Oh,
Yes, I sure can. Can you hear me? Very good. Well, we're ready to go in here. I've got Mike's. Let me get Ron's mic going. Okay, right now I'm working on Ron's mic. 1, 2. Ron's mic. 1, 2. Okay, good. Check, check.
You guys got this.
Yeah. Come on.
Come back for like the B or the C bar?
yeah, I got to put something together.
Yes, sir. Take your time. We're good.
20 seconds.
Taking action for you. This is Action News 5 Now.
Good afternoon from the Action News 5 newsroom. This is Action News 5 Now. I'm Joe Birch reporting, standing in for Kim Clark. It is a first alert weather day. Our chief meteorologist, Ron Childers, will be joining us momentarily here in this broadcast. But we want to share with you some of the richness of Action News 5's digital platforms. And this is the perfect kind of day to share that. Let's go to our Facebook videos, and there you see some streets are beginning to flood out in Cordova. And let me operate this for you and let you see just some of that wet stuff that is pouring down in Cordova. Thank you to Ray Cole for sharing this video with us as Cordova got drenched today. A lot of the power outages that we did see, and there were not that many in Shelby County. I think the number right now is around 2,600 of power outages of more than 300,000 customers. Let's go to the next video here as we scroll down on our Facebook page, and we see Channing Kidd was very generous to share this flooding picture. And let's take that now, and you can see that this picture shows flooding in Covington, Tennessee today. So that gives you a sense of where the flooding is right now. It's north of Memphis. All right, moving on to this video, a great shot of lightning strike captured by John Gossett of Oakland, Tennessee. And just look at this video. This is a powerful image of the lightning that struck today out in Oakland, Tennessee, out in Fayette County. And as you can see, a beautiful backyard here, but quite a powerful storm with this lightning that roared through the Mid-South and mostly went north and east of Memphis. And so I have some more video to share with you. This is from heavy rain in Cordova. Thank you to Steve Childress for submitting this. And here's how you send us a video. If you have video that you've recorded on your phone or other device, you can send it to desk, D-E-S-K, at WMCTV.com. That's how you get the email to us, desk at WMCTV.com, and we'd be proud to share with you the images that Steve Childress and his family witnessed this afternoon in Cordova. Let's scroll on down and show some more pictures. This is a lot of hail coming down in Cordova as well. We want to thank Tammy Bugg shared this image with us, and you can see dime-size hail falling on the deck outside Tammy Bugg's home. Quite an image here. And so I'm going to scroll on down the Facebook page here at Action News 5, and Collierville Police Department warning residents to avoid the Collierville Town Square as there was a gas leak Wednesday afternoon. Let's go now to some rain in downtown Memphis. This is Miles McClinton shared this video for us. Thank you, Miles, for sharing video of the intense rain. These storms ramped up, and fortunately, Memphis was spared, though. We did not see as many power outages as you might expect with the kinds of high winds that we saw elsewhere in the Mid-South. And so we appreciate Miles sharing that video. Let's go now to some heavy hail coming down from our friends in Jonesboro. This from Rita King in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Look at that. The storm was way more intense in northeast Arkansas. And our friends, I believe, in northwest Tennessee, in Dyersburg and points north, are seeing this kind of weather activity today. If you have been paying attention to the First Alert Weather Team, Ron Childers and Maggie McCallie and the team have been on all afternoon. Patrick Ellis is right now driving for us out in Marshall County, Mississippi. So let's take a look. This is live here. We're looking at a live picture now out of Marshall County, Mississippi. This is the First Alert Storm Tracker from Action News 5, and it's making its way through the roads there, and it looks quite passable. It doesn't look too wet there in Marshall County, Mississippi at this moment. Let's go back to Facebook and share some pictures of hail. This is in Marion, Arkansas. And we want to thank Paul Richardson for sharing this image of hail. I would say that's dime-size hail right there next to his ring. I think that's an accurate description of that. Now, this picture, I was sitting on the set while our meteorological team were busy all afternoon on the air. I thought this picture was truly ominous. This is an awesome picture from Dennis Vaughter of storms moving across northern Shelby County today. And so this is a still image, but it gives you a sense of what our neighbors north of Memphis in North Shelby County were witnessing today as they watched these storms roll through. Quite an ominous picture there. All right, moving on to some more images of hail falling at Firehouse number 49. This is the 4300 block of Raleigh Egypt Road. And as you can see, firefighter Chad Smart stepped out of the firehouse number 49 there and gave us a sense of what the barbecue grill looks like and what the rain and hail look like pouring down on this section of town. I guess it's just rain. I misstated the hail there. I don't see hail there. But that gives you a sense of the intense rain that our neighbors up north in the northern part of the city were watching today. Scrolling on down now, we have some more pictures of this. This is Action News 5's video of storms scaring some folks in Jonesboro. As I said a little earlier, we saw that intense hail coming down. Well, this is a great image from Matt Conister in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Our friends there in northeastern Arkansas certainly went through a much more significant storm this afternoon than we did here in Memphis and Shelby County. All right, looking on now, we see some more hail coming to us out of Fayette County. This video from Richard Thompson, who is a real terrific video sharer today. Again, desk@wmctv.com is the way you send us videos. So we would love to share your videos on the air. We will be back with more of Action News 5 now in just a moment.
Maggie is going to come back to do the weather. She's not here yet, so. Oh, I don't know.
What do you want to do next?
We could go back. We could go to the package if you want.
The package we planned for B?
Or you could do some of those stories.
Some of these stories? Sure, I mean, I'm happy.
Get, like, however many stories.
All right, yeah,
Maybe 2 or so.
yeah, sure. Yeah. So the way I have it, the order I have it is Raising Cane's to open restaurant in South Haven. That was the first one. And then the next one was one we changed out. So it's Firefighter Celebrates 75 Years, is that right? Good, okay. The one after that, a medical center adds miniature horse as latest therapy. And finally, the casino is not paying the lady 1.2.
You want to hit? No?
You want to get the C block?
Okay.
We were kind of making plans without you for this block.
How's it go?
We got like a minute, so we can get.
Take a breath.
You want me to do it now?
You can come back for the C block.
Okay. Let me pull up my splash shot. Okay. Oh, can I pull up my
No, you're
splash
fine.
shot?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, sorry. Hey,
And you
nice
will be on
desk,
max
Lydia.
too?
Yes.
30 seconds.
So we see Maggie in this shot.
Whatever I feel like it. I'm not going to be in, so you don't have to worry about it.
I want to elevate you.
I won't be in it until the next
15.
block.
Well, I got it ready for you.
You're watching Action News 5 Now.
Good afternoon, Joe Birch here in the Action News 5 newsroom. It's Action News 5's Now, and we're going to have meteorologist Maggie McCallie join us momentarily. But first, we want to tell you some non-weather news, to tell you things that are going on in the Mid-South right now that you may find interesting. You can find these stories on Action News 5's Facebook page. Raising Cane's to open a restaurant in South Haven. This is a chicken fingers place. It's going to build in the old O'Charlie's location, 537 Goodman Road. So good for them. Here comes Raising Cane's. Better chicken fingers coming to the Mid-South. Here's a gentleman next who is celebrating quite an anniversary. 75 years serving as a volunteer firefighter. This gentleman is named Burton Spike Pugh, and he works in Rocky Mount, Virginia. He's been a volunteer firefighter since he was 24 years old. Now he's 98 and still at it. He drives a fire truck. He dispatches. He gives young firefighters guidance. He's very much loved there in Rocky Mount, Virginia. Moving on, I love this story. Medical center adds miniature horse as latest therapy animal, helping young patients. Take a look at that little fellow there. There's a Yuma, Arizona hospital that's added a beautiful little four-year-old miniature Pintalusa horse who loves kids and works for hugs and kisses. And so she and her handler were recently therapy certified. This is part of a Tales of Joy program, and they've had just therapy dogs until now. But the hospital says these animals bring unconditional love to patients and really brighten their day. And the handler was inspired by a therapy dog that came to visit her mother-in-law while she was sick. It was a giant white poodle, and that gave her the idea. And so she brought in this miniature Pintalusa horse. Look at that smile on that young guy. All right, we will be back with Maggie McCallie's forecast on this first alert weather day in just a moment.
I guess we could just do weather for this block, and if there's time left over, we can hit the socials.
Okay,
We just give over the time.
cool. All right, I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
Hello.
Look at you, appearing out of nowhere.
Literally, though.
I was thinking we just give you as much time as we need for weather, and then if there's time left, we can hit the socials.
Okay,
Does that work for you?
so
So we'll.
just go until feel like it.
You have to come up and do that.
This is
Yeah,
too.
we will.
So how much time we got for this segment? Do you reckon?
It's usually 5 minutes.
5?
I think it's about 5.
Yeah. Take as much of that as you want.
Okay.
And when you're done,
If we get
we'll do
time,
some
it's
socials. If we don't get
You're watching Action News 5 Now.
Proud to tell you that the First Alert Weather Team was made for days like this. It is a First Alert Weather Day. I'm Joe Birch, standing alongside meteorologist Maggie McCallie, and she has been tracking these storms all day long. We had some high winds move across the river from eastern and northeastern Arkansas into West Tennessee. We were especially focused on Haywood County, which is home to Ford Blue Oval and the largest economic project in the history of Western Tennessee. And they really got hit by some wind today, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did. And we've been tracking severe storms, Joe. I've been doing this since midday. So we had to go on in the middle of midday for a severe thunderstorm warning in Shelby County. And we have been on since then until the 3:30 show. So this has been an ongoing thing. I do have some good news for you. No severe thunderstorm warning in Shelby County right now, but let's get into it. I want to talk about the rest of the day. Today is still a first alert weather day because we're still seeing ongoing strong to severe storms in the Mid-South, even though they're not currently in Shelby County. Here's the good news I have about today. We were looking at the possibility for a few waves of rain. I think what we saw this afternoon is going to be that main one, and we're really going to start to dry out this evening. So that's good news if you had any evening plans, or just good news in general for here in the Mid-South. Here's the thing, though, a pretty stormy pattern ahead. So this isn't our only day we're going to be dealing with some rain. We're actually going to be seeing shower and storm chances throughout the next few. Let's talk about what's going on right now. I have this looping over the last few hours so you can see what we've been dealing with. Strong storms came into play. They moved from eastern Arkansas into West Tennessee, North Mississippi as well. Here's what we're looking at right now on First Alert Doppler radar. Few areas of interest, again, not necessarily in portions of Shelby County, but seeing a severe thunderstorm warning still extending from portions of Hardeman and McNairy County. That storm is going to be clipping northern portions of McNairy County as we head over the next 20 minutes. Lots of lightning associated with that. And the main thing we've been watching with this particular system or storm cluster has been strong winds. So that's going to be that main story for northern portions of McNairy County, north of Selmer, as this makes its way out of the Mid-South, because it is pushing into portions of central Tennessee. The next one we're watching for is in portions of North Mississippi, from Tunica County to Coahoma County. It's going to be pushing into portions of Tate and Panola County. So if you travel along 55 in the next few minutes or even the next hour or so, we're still seeing those showers and storms ongoing there. I think those have really weakened. We did see the potential for hail within that system that's pressing through, but overall just not overly impressive right now, even though we're still seeing a lot of lightning associated with this. So that's the overall picture of what's going on right now on First Alert Doppler radar. Why don't we talk about the rest of the afternoon and evening? Temperature is going to be dropping through the 70s this evening if you have any plans. Also, again, rain chances going to be pretty much tapering off, or overall staying minimal throughout the rest of today. Here's your hour-by-hour futurecast. Again, the strong line of showers and storms is going to continue to move off over the next few hours. It's going to push into portions of central Tennessee. A few showers and storms could be hanging around in portions of northern Mississippi to northeast Mississippi. So Lafayette County into Alcorn County still could be seeing some rain around 5, 6 o'clock. But that severe threat mainly over with and pushing well off to our east. That's going to continue into the evening. Now, if you watched us earlier at midday or even over the last few days, again, I told you we might see the potential for another wave to come into play. Models have completely taken that out of the picture. These showers and storms this afternoon have sucked the juice, what we like to say in meteorology, out of the atmosphere. They sucked that energy out, not just seeing maybe a few isolated downpours into your 10 o'clock hour. Overnight tonight, mainly dry, but still could see a few showers out there for Thursday. So now we're shifting into Thursday. As I said, a stormy pattern ahead. This isn't the only day we're going to be dealing with showers and storms, although this was the day we were looking at for strong to severe storms. So a few isolated downpours could be out there on Thursday. The good news I have is tomorrow is still trending for the most part drier. We've been saying that. That's still the case for your Thursday, and that's not the case for every day. So a decent day out there, even though we could still see some isolated downpours. We'll start to see rain pick back up overnight Thursday and then into your Friday morning. So here's a look at rain chances ahead. Again, continuing Thursday night into your Friday morning commute. Still looking like it might be a wet commute for some. We're going to continue to keep our eyes on that. But rain chances, will they even stick around for Memorial Day weekend? It's just the overall pattern we're in. So I'm sorry to say, if you have any plans for Memorial Day weekend, we're keeping about a 40% chance on there for Saturday and Sunday. Now, the last time I looked, Saturday looked a little bit drier, so we might pull that precipitation chance, that rain chance for Saturday down in the coming days. What will you have to do to know that? Well, keep up with us on the First Alert Weather app, or keep tuning in on Action News 5 to know what we decide to do about Saturday. But overall, trending a little bit drier, especially in comparison to Sunday. So let's look at Memorial Day weekend. Temperature is going to be in the middle 80s on Saturday, upper 80s on Sunday. Same story for Monday. We're going to continue watching it. I don't want it to rain on your Memorial Day weekend, but there might be showers and storms isolated in nature in the area. So if you plan on boating, going outside, anything like that, you're going to want to have the First Alert Weather app downloaded and handy, because it lets you know when there's lightning near you so you can go indoors and be safe. So that's look at Memorial Day weekend. Let's look at the next 7 days. Our average highs, middle 80s. That's where we're going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, get a little bit warmer, Sunday into Monday. The good news I have is showers and storms are likely, even if they're isolated in nature, today through Memorial Day. But after Memorial Day, Joe, we finally start to dry out a little bit. And I think that's some pretty good news out there, especially for us here in the weather team that's going to be dealing with showers and storms. But for you guys, that if you have any plans, there is light at the end of the tunnel. But Ron Childers will be here at 4, 5, and 6 to give you the latest on the forecast.
Thank you so much, Maggie, and great job today with the First Alert Weather Team. We'll be back with more in a moment. Backbeat Tours? That is the Kim Clark 5-star story.
Oh yeah, I finished that right after.
We just finished it last night,
So good.
and then he re-downloaded Fallout 4, and we're playing that with him.
The games are just not fun.
Yeah, I don't see myself playing them, but it was cool to watch the prologue for the game. Was actually really cool. But I don't see myself playing them.
I started playing it after this show, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I've tried playing it in the past too. But I like the story.
Yeah, the story is
Yeah.
really fun.